contract that says you're not really supposed to talk about it. And also you're supposed to, coordinate messaging twice a month, or at least get trained in like the Democrats' messaging, right? Twice a month.
No. That's not what it was.
Okay,
that's not what her article said. She even clarified that the DNC had nothing to do with this. So
yeah, so the check-ins that you're referencing,
I'm not saying literally the DNC. I'm talking about the program.
The check-ins that you're.
Why would you ever include Fabian in any panel ever? Oh my god, this guy is so insufferable. Oh, he should be blacklisted for just how boring he is. Okay, but
referencing
the program that is supporting these people, right? That is obviously has a message of their own, even if it's not direct party line, perfect messaging that the DNC wrote for them word for word, right? This is a program that is funded by neoliberals, centrist left, billionaires, because there's not leftist billionaires. They don't fucking exist, right? And so, right? So you have that messaging.
Fabian Dickers, but Dickers is more interesting just simply because he's a Queeman guy. He's a Queeman orbiter. So, like, obviously, when a Queeman orbiter debates, like, I'm much more interested in that just simply because, I'm in love with Queeman. No, just kidding. No, it's because they almost never join debates. Like, in panels like this. They never join panels like this, usually. But, yeah.
Sure. I don't know.
It's a contradiction.
I think they're liberal billionaires. They're not leftist billionaires.
Right, we're talking about liberals. Sure, stakeholder capitalism, corporatist, socialist, neoliberal, whatever.
The bottom guy, right? Yeah,
he's a center-left portion of the party. Maybe they have some progressive values on like healthcare or some shit. But we're talking about like leftist. If you have all of those things and that, okay, this is the messaging that my program that's paying me and giving me opportunities and I'm not supposed to talk about is putting out. How is that not having a chilling effect on speech? How is that not what they're paying for, which is to control the narrative?
Because there's no indication that this was happening. Like
wait, Hutch, wait, Hutch, I do have to, even though I'm on your side, the chilling effect thing I think is a valid argument, because it is true that some of them do give testimonies of,
is Soypil gonna bring up the Vosh example, the Vosh counterpoints example? Because I think that I saw a clip of like Soypil going over how counterpoints was defending Vosh for getting the lolly leaks, even though I was also talking about the lolly stuff. But it seems like the way that he treated Vosh versus the way that he treated me was vastly different, right? In both tone and messaging. However, I would then counteract and say, I don't think it was necessarily progressive victory, right? It's because you're talking about people from the same organization supporting each other. But I would actually just argue they work in the same organization. However, they know each other, and therefore they're biased towards each other, okay? As in, like, they're on friendly terms with one another, so therefore they're going to be covering for each other's ass, or at least Counterpoints is going to cover for Vosh's ass. So yeah, that, like, I don't think it's necessarily, you have to show that it's because they're from the same organization, because otherwise you're projecting your fears of them being in the organization into everything else, right? But yeah, that's just my stance on that at the very least, whenever somebody likes bringing it up.
Worried that maybe I'm not supposed to talk about certain things.
Yeah.
Now, whether or not those were valid concerns, they could have worked out with Chorus. Clearly, they were people talking about Chorus. I think like people are confusing, hey, don't disclose other members, because that might
Hey, who likes modded XCOM? We all love modded XCOM, right?
be private information. Hey, don't disclose like when we have events before they're publicly announced, as like we weren't allowed to talk about Chorus. These are very different things. But there could be an effect of, hey, what if I want to suddenly become MAGA today? Would I get kicked out? That could be a concern, but that's
we
everything.
also don't know what
There's
everybody's
Fabian,
contract is.
just to be clear, because I wanted to give some validity to that, but to push back, that's everything. That's audience capture. That's like, hey, what makes money with the algorithm? There's always a chilling effect somewhere. Now, this money wasn't coming as a political amount of money. This was an incubator program for getting people off the ground and expanding their reach. It wasn't, here's your talking points. The daily check-ins were, hey, we taught you how to do shorts. Let's see if your shorts are doing well. Hey, let's see how your thumbnails are doing. Like, these people weren't being paid to just do whatever they were doing already. It was trying to expand them into having more of a voice.
To be clear,
Hutch and then Dickers. That's what we're
I did interrupt.
Yeah, she's not addressing the argument, but okay.
To be clear, I was going to get there on my own. Have more faith in your pod, brother.
I'm sorry.
It's fair to have that kind of thought, right? Because as soon as you hear that some creator is being paid by some source that is involved in politics, that's of course going to be the first question that pops into your mind. However, what became abundantly clear, again, in the couple days or subsequent week after this reporting, is that this was not happening in any kind of material sense. Like there's no actual evidence of this happening. There are 90 people in the program. Don't you think that at least one of them would have gone on background with Taylor to tell her, like, yeah, I wanted to talk about this thing, and then they got they pushed back and they told me not to.
That's not my argument, though. You're saying this isn't happening. happening, but you're not addressing the argument that I made. What you're doing is you're bringing in outside factors of what you saw on Twitter, so that you can defeat that straw man that has nothing to do with the argument that I'm making. The argument that I'm making is that when you are picked and you are chosen to be a part of a program that is giving you all of these opportunities,
they're going to be picked with people who align with their policy goals, of course.
Yeah, I never made that claim that like they're forcing this type of speech on people.
But there's a difference between that and quote unquote pushing the party line. That's what was the big
What the fuck is pushing the party line? Define
characterization here. Like
that's not a mischaracterization, though, right?
That's not a mischaracterization.
Because you admit that they have picked people with a particular ideological bent.
But if that ideological bend ranges from I will suck Joe Biden's dick to I hate Joe Biden, how is that?
Okay, so what I'm saying is if you're taking contention with the fact that they're not allowed to talk about something that, for example, if they're like take an anti-abortion stance, they're going to get kicked out. That's not what that's alleging. These are Democratic influences. They do already push the Democratic Party line.
Okay, what is the Democratic Party line, Dickers, if they're allowed to criticize Democrats?
Wait, not just criticize.
That's nothing to do with the Democratic Party line.
Not just
policy points that they advocate for.
Is it the Democratic Party line to criticize the party?
With disagreeing with Democratic Party talking points.
I thought the entire point of the whole program was to be pro-Democratic Party, or am I like? It's not like it's pro-Democratic Party, but it's to specifically support people who are like pro-left, pro-Democrat, pro-X and Y, right? It's just this entire thing is just such a nothing. It's so boring. Like this is such a boring drama.
Points.
It's not the DNC party line to criticize the party.
There's a lot of people here. Let's give it to Hutch to respond, and then we can let Dickers respond back if he wants, and then we'll get some other people in here. Go ahead.
There was one of the creators, and it's kind of a small sample size that we know of right now. I think it's like 12 or 13 or something like that out of 90. Right? And out of that, like 12 or 13, three or four of them were pretty outspoken about Gaza. In fact, one of them took it to the extreme of accusing Pete Buttigieg and the Democratic Party writ large of being complicit in a genocide. If that person was not only in the program, but featured in a picture on the webpage, I think that annihilates the idea that this, secretive dark money group was picking people to like gas up the Democrats.
Well, wasn't the other person also like trying to get Schumer to step down? Like that's absolutely not in line with the DNC. But,
yeah, Brian Tyler Cohen himself was complaining about the gerontocracy. Complaining about Democratic Party leadership. I mean, like this is just not. It's not.
Look, I get it. Okay, not everyone can receive a Destiny raid. Okay, all right, that's enough. Yeah, no.
Congruent with what was characterized in that article.
Okay, but trying to find people who will never criticize their own party, will never criticize members of their own party. Every person in politics does this, right? You can't do that. Okay, even if it's not, I don't think it would even be preferable. Parties
so they're not towing the party line, is what you're saying.
Talk about their own party. Yeah, absolutely, they are. Politicians criticize each other. All that they ask is that all they're going to expect is that you're going to talk about general support for the Democrats, not that you're going to support every single member of Congress.
That's every single person. Towing the line means you do everything they're asking, following the policy, not, hey, in general, are you left-wing? These are completely different things.
It's only taking a single line from the very beginning of the article.
Okay, now that you've read through the subsequent thing on 630, can you look up what toe the line means?
You said that I hadn't read the article. You tried to criticize that.
Oh, fuck. Oh, guys. Okay, I might have to go shit, okay? You guys may have to wait a little longer, okay? Oh, I ate too much chicken katsu curry. I ate too much chicken katsu, dude. It's fucking good. I'm cooked, okay?
I hadn't?
I said you didn't click on the secondary links, and now you don't know what the line means.
So Chorus actually hasn't got anything in their program about being anti-dog money. And neither has the 1630 fund.
I said 1630 fund. You can click on it.
With one of the executives. It's not
the executive of the 1630 fund, the person who dictates their entire fucking message.
It's not an aspect of the fund, though, is it?
What do you mean it's not an aspect of their fund?
It's
the leader who runs it. Donald Trump says something. It's just the Republican Party who all
Okay, I will hold it in. Okay? My commentary improves when I need to go to the bathroom, okay? All right.
Okay, one at a time. Hold on. All of you shut up. All of you shut up. No one can hear you when three people are talking at once. We have to at least have some order.
Gen Z. They're so good at
Fabian, you're talking while I'm talking. Stop.
Yes! That's the correct attitude you should have towards Fabian. This person is evil for subjecting my ears to his fucking yaps, okay? I am sick and I'm tired of hearing this fucking ANCAT talk on every single goddamn panel. Someone get this motherfucker out of these panels. He is anti-content. He is actually anti-content, okay? I want to poop. Okay, all right.
Again, use the mute button.
I am fucking soy pill, you're doing it too. Let me fucking finish my point. Okay, I will have to start beating people if you guys don't at least exercise some self-control and wait your goddamn turns. Dickers, finish your point, and then we'll get into it, okay? And I will mute the
Martini, shaken, not stirred.
Just imagine that's destiny finally claiming you.
motherfucker who interrupts. Go ahead.
Okay, so I was just making a simple point about
Thanks.
like media literacy and what we're taking on this panel, right? So at the end of the day, I was right. It's not part of the Chorus platform to be anti-dark money. It's not even part of the 1630 fund to be against dark money. It's the personal opinion of the executive of the 1360 fund to be against dark money. That's fine. That's not what they're going to fundraise on. That's not the organization. That's the head of the organization, you might say. But he's not the king, right? These are complex organizations with multiple people. Their personal opinion, that might be worth something, but no, the advocacy that this campaign is doing is not against dark money. It doesn't say it anywhere.
One, I don't believe that you've read through the Medium article from the executive. Not just one person, but the person who helps dictate the entire agenda of the 1630 Fund, her organization, which is a 501c4 nonprofit that advances.
Foodshops. Also hi, smiley face, almost missed the stream but made it on the third alum lol.
Aw, thank you. That's such a cute super chat. Thank you for the 50. PLN.
Progressive causes through advocacy and fiscal sponsorship. We do so using the legal rulebook in place today, and we are donors feel compelled to give us. I fucking lost my plot here. Give me a second. Let me find this. Fuck me. Okay, but first, let me go to the second point. The second point is I never said that Chorus was anti-dark money. I said that 1630 was. So let me find the passage and read it to you. But first of all, when you're talking about fuck, God damn it. Hold on, I gotta stop doing two things at once. Hutch, take over for me while I read this.
I don't know what to say. Loud noises. Somebody else go.
Fair enough.
Or I guess I can just respond to it. So,
or say what you're saying again, so I can remember what my second point
was. The road in terms of advocacy, yeah, in no part is it published that it's any part of the platform that they try and encourage to be against dark money. That's just a true statement. Now, you might want to add the nuance that the executive of the fund has a personal opinion that she's against dark money. That's fine. All my point is, these organizations don't actually have it as a part of their program. They're against dark money.
Well,
and the reason why I brought that up
what would you
is the
spend
fact
money
that people
on?
are saying that we want to support it. Being part of these organizations isn't being against dark money, right?
What would you spend money on if you want to?
Wait, what? But the purpose of these organizations isn't to be against dark money. Wait, what is he talking about? Wait, what? Wait, what? Okay, so to be clear, am I hearing things wrong, or I'm so confused. So Dickers thinks that like the organizations need to be anti-dark money?
To get rid of dark money in politics.
Real
Advocacy
quick,
groups that would be against dark money. I don't know what you're talking
So
about.
yeah, okay. In the article,
No, hold on.
Fabian,
Fabian, stop. They're going back and forth. Let them go back and forth.
So it says it's a point of emphasis for the group and its backing of campaign finance reforms that will require it and other nonprofit groups to disclose donors and potentially reduce their influence on politics. So this is not the opinion of the executive. This is the executive saying our group does this. Now, if you're hold on. Now, if you're saying the executive is saying
shaken, not stirred.
Go crap. I'm distracted now. I'm an empathy.
No. Thank you for the $5 though.
lying or misleading about what her group is trying to do, and the group is completely contradictory to this in their message, and you can show me that somewhere in the 1630 fund like method. Show me that, please. But it appears to me okay,
sorry.
show me.
Unequivocally,
Sorry.
It's not illegal for a 501c4 to publicly disclose who their donors are. If they're against dark money, they can just disclose it.
People want to donate to dark money.
They're not against dark money.
People
if the donors don't want to get disclosed, they don't have to be disclosed.
Okay, so the donors
like
are
every
pro
other
dark
money
money,
fund.
and then the dark money fund is using dark money.
Well,
so
yeah, so it would be.
Do you not see how that's a contradiction?
Hutch, go ahead. Hutch,
Obviously, contradiction. The donors wouldn't want to donate.
So to get an I need at least 50 PLN equals 13.73 United States dollar. They're all deserving. Don't think about the poop, you got this.
Okay, thank you. I mean, I can't force an awe. The reason why I gave an awe wasn't because of the money. It was because it was a cute message. Okay, like how do I fake an awe? Does that count? I can't fake it. Okay, sorry.
No, stop.
It was illegal.
Let Hutch answer the question. Hutch, go ahead.
It's again, it is not a contradiction. The reason why people are attracted to donating money to dark money groups is because they can do it anonymously and not have any fear of being harassed or whatever in this like current era of witch hunts and harassment and political violence. So the reason, so 1630, like collecting.
You're defending
money,
dark money.
No, you're doing the same thing we did before.
You're defending dark money.
About like stealing a penny to save the world. Do you understand that? Like, if you can solicit more
you're
donations
meaning to try and get out of the fact that you're in contradiction.
Nobody gives a fuck about your crazy moral system where you would somehow let 8 billion people die by not stealing it.
Holy shit! Yes, we must fight.
Logic.
There's nothing,
Logic.
there's
Not
nothing-
contradicting yourself.
Very logical.
Crazy.
There is nothing morally inconsistent about using a tool that is available so long as your enemy is using that same tool to their massive
just
benefit.
A drink. A martini, shaken, not stirred.
No, only think about it, the poop.
Thank you, Bear Claws. Thank you so much for the $2. Can you just imagine where I'm like commentating? I'm like, I can't believe, I can't believe that Dickers, that dude.
Okay,
There-
and
there
I remember my
absolutely
second
is. That's
point,
just
by
an
the way.
insane.
I mean,
an insane
whatever.
take.
Moral
It
ethics.
shows
We can
that
move
you have
past
no,
it.
that you're not a
The
rational
second
being.
point was
Thank you.
Dickers, was that you say that they were it was factually true. They're towing the party line, and I asking you now, what do you think towing the line means? If, according to, let's say, if I just Google this and it says accept the authority, principles, or policies of a particular group, especially under pressure, and that is somehow akin to criticizing them heavily, if not calling them complicit in genocide. I think these things are completely contradictory.
Can you find me one influencer who said that the Democratic Party itself, the DNC, is complicit in genocide? Or
So
they're
why
critiquing
specifically the
particular
DNC and not
politicians?
the people who are the heads of it? So, for example,
So
Joe
they
Biden.
support the party, yeah? They don't support everyone in the party. It's just that simple.
Okay,
Is it
so
towing
as
the
long as
party
I'm
line?
not
A martini, shaken, not stirred.
Poop investment fund.
Thank you for the 10 Australian Misaki.
a Republican, I'm towing the line.
Okay,
If you
let's
don't
give
wanna
it
read
to
the rest of the article,
Rinyald.
That's fine.
Rinyald, I want to hear from you, please.
Yeah, it's not towing the party line to ultimately end up saying we should vote for the Democrats. That's not towing the party line. When somebody says we're towing the party line, it means that we are largely like 90% in accordance with the DNC. Like I don't consider myself to be someone who toes the party line,
Can I just
but I'm pro-Democrat.
Yeah,
Can we
one
clarify?
sec.
Can we
Talking
clarify?
about actually having
Hush.
read the
It's not
article,
toe.
okay?
It's not toe the party line. It's push the party line. Do you guys
Yeah.
understand that? She said that they were being paid to push the party line, not step over, like not step over any lines. So it's even more of an intensive
Thank you, Lisa.
allegation.
No, if anything,
I
that'd
just
be
wanna
worse,
remind
right?
everyone
You're
of
being
my
paid to
intro
toe the
segment
party
where I
line,
said
as in
that
you
you
can't
were
deviate
all
from it, versus push the
gonna get
party
into
line,
this
as in be
nitty-gritty
generally
bullshit.
supportive of it.
You
That's
think toe
actually
the
a
party
No,
line
no,
is
no.
like
So
more
the difference,
important
the
than
difference,
push the party
Stickers,
line?
is one is you just shut up and just let them push their agenda. The other is I'm a paid propagandist who must do exactly what the Democratic Party is pushing. Neither of which are
That's
true,
not,
but
that's
one
not
is
the
worse.
implication of the article. Absolutely not.
That's not the implication of the article.
It says that in the header,
No.
dude.
Do you think that
It pushes
that
the party
Lorenz
line.
should have?
He's a democratic. How could they have phrased that? Okay, how could they have phrased that? That there's no way that somebody who just wants to read the byline at the
help
top of
elect
the
out-
article couldn't possibly misunderstand.
To help
While
elect
still being
Democrats.
catchy, while still having like an attention-grabbing headline.
What
is
do
it?
you? Well,
You could say
hold
help
on.
elect
The last thing might be
No,
a little
go
harder.
ahead.
But what do you think factually happened here with these chorus people? Just with
Well,
in
okay, so
regards to the
get
Democratic
the point.
messaging.
They
No.
got
This
a
is like,
certain amount
because
of
I
money
want to
to
see
be in
what
the
you think
incubation
happened.
program.
Okay, sorry. Can you start over? Sorry, I was talking over you.
Yeah, they got a certain amount of money to be an incubation program. That have daily messaging. That have
Mhm.
twice monthly advocacy trainings.
Mhm.
And there'd be check-ins for how they could do their content.
Okay, what about that is pushing or towing the party line?
They're being paid. Yes.
Mhm. Yes,
Okay, and these are influencers who support the Democratic Party.
in some
Already,
capacity.
before they get in there, they're pushing the party line. They've been giving daily messaging
Okay,
check-ins
so
to help them.
your definition of pushing the party line is anyone who is a Democrat.
I don't know if you think
I'll tell you where Hutch looks amused, but like I'll tell you where to get it from. Okay, they're like, well, you see, they're trying to get the people to be on the Democrat side by they get paid, they signed up for the contract, and they maybe tell them what to say, what to do. I have no evidence for it. I don't know. I just think that we should ask questions. Is there anything wrong with asking questions?
I'm just asking, if that's your definition, I can't argue with that. It's a dumb definition, but that's a definition for sure.
Sure.
Can I
Listen,
zoom out?
you can say that. That's a perfectly good summarization, especially if
Can
people
you
can
don't
scroll
zoom out
down
yet?
and read
Can you
the rest
define
of
the
the
party?
article.
Can you define the
It's
party line?
totally
No, you
blind.
can't,
zoom out
Fabian.
yet.
Give it a second,
Hold on.
Fabian. Let him go back
Can
and
you-
forth. Hutch, please.
Can you define the party line? What is the party line?
Can I define the party line?
The
It's going to be
particulars.
democratic issues that, by and large, all Democrats will support.
Such
What
as.
do you mean?
Wait, so Gaza maybe would be not
overwhelmingly
the party
popular.
line, you might say?
No, that are overwhelmingly popular. Obviously, Gaza is one of the most controversial subjects in the recent years in politics. Retard.
Okay, what about
isn't that
keeping
what
Joe Biden and
trying
Chuck
to-
Schumer in power?
Bro, we're like 25% in, and the R and people are already calling each other retards. It's great. Like, this is fantastic stuff right here. Okay.
Or would you consider that the party line?
Say that again, sorry?
Keeping Joe Biden and Chuck Schumer, the gerontocracy in power, was that the party line?
Actually, there was controversy around that too. What? Every time you're going to point out an issue where there's
Controversy
controversy,
around everything.
I'm going to point out that there's controversy. And so no.
There's controversy around every that's the nature of politics. There's controversy
Yeah, what's
around
the
every
unanimous
single topic.
political
Yes,
issue of our
find
time,
the
dude, like-
issues that you will
But
get
there was a-
90% agreement of Democrats on.
Is
So,
the
for
standard-
example, climate
is the
change,
standard-
social equity, hold on, What are the other ones?
Is there 90% agreement on Gaza?
Affordable healthcare, voter access.
Is there 90% agreement on Gaza?
Democratic issues.
Is the standard just trying to get Democrats elected, or is it pushing popular narratives within the Democrats? Because when we said, like, what qualifies pushing the party line, all you said was electing Democrats.
Who generally support the Democrats' policy agenda. I don't know why you're freaking the fuck out.
Because your definitions don't make any sense. Dickers, do you know who Counterpoints
it's not
is?
pushing the party line either.
Dickers, have you heard of Counterpoints?
I have heard of
course.
Okay, he was paid by Progressive Victory. Progressive Victory has a mission to elect progressives. Would you say that he toes the party line?
He was hired as a what was it? I believe it was a contractor to do policy. No, not policy work.
No.
Do you think he?
No, he was a contractor to do what was it? Counseling. It was advice. It was advising work, right? That was what the title it was, or something. It was advice work, right? Not policy, advice work. What the fuck? Isn't this a Queeman orbiter? Like, don't these motherfuckers should have like the facts of the matter? Well, why are they so fucking clueless on anything, on everything? Counterpoints was, from what I remember, Counterpoints was hired because he did advice work, as in he told Progressive Victory how to capture the algorithm the most, how to make videos to capture the algorithm the most in order to expand the influence, right, or whatever, their influence. It wasn't that Counterpoints himself was making any like advertisements or anything. It was he was advising Progressive Victory on how to do it in weekly meetings. Yeah.
Do you think he chose the party line?
Well,
he was paid as a contractor.
He chose the Democrat party line.
Okay, well he's a Republican, so like he votes Republican. Yes, he is.
No, he's not. No, now he
he's
works
an anti-Trump Republican.
Okay, I don't care. I don't. We are not arguing about what. Hold on, we're not arguing today. We're not arguing today. Please. We're not arguing today about what. Hold on.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
We're not pushing the party line.
We're not arguing today about whether or not Counterpoints is a Republican or not. That's not the subject.
It's not an argument. To be fair, he is a Republican. It's just a fact.
We're arguing today about whether or not the article A accurately portrayed what Chorus is doing, and B, whether or not what Chorus is doing is okay, if it's something we support or don't support. Prime's been trying to get in.
To Scott?
Okay.
Scott wants to go in before me, so
you want to go into Scott? Yeah, I'll give it your time to Scott. Go ahead, Scott.
Yeah, it'll take like 20 minutes. Yeah, I know, but
well, no, I just want to zoom out because, like I said in my intro statement, I knew that the people that were going to defend this, these terrible actions, were going to advocate and do all these little things, right?
What the fuck is terrible dude, fucking terrible actions. What? Terrible actions like accepting contracts? Morally dubiousness of the highest order, I suppose.
But I think the real important thing is not, how accurate was one specific word or phrase in the article about what is going on, but encapsulating, is this wrong and is it pointing to something that is wrong? And
the accuracy of the article is part of the topic.
Well, first of all, I was never,
that was literally the topic right now.
But again, getting nitpicky within one word as opposed to actually.
I always feel for Hutch in these panels. He's not built on this. Poor guy.
Huh? I feel like Hutch actually does know a lot about this, no? Hasn't he been talking about the subject? For this? What do you mean for this?
Talking about does it adequately describe the situation and zooming out a little bit. What I would say is the real issue here is you're an average viewer of political content. You're not super connected. You go to work a regular fucking job.
Thank you, though.
Day in and day out in your life. And you go and you just go through your YouTube algorithm because the elections are coming up soon. And you're like, oh, I don't know shit about politics. I should probably learn a little bit, get back into it for a little while. And you see all these large accounts that are pushing pretty much what the Democrat Party is pushing. Yeah, there's some issues on Israel-Palestine. Yeah, there's some issues about, this specific old person. Yeah, there's some issues about, Zoran in New York, right? But overwhelmingly, you have all of these large accounts that are super popular, and the algorithm is feeding you these big accounts, and it says, you know what everybody agrees on? Everybody agrees that the Democrats are the good guys. Everybody agrees mostly with these things. I'm watching American Girl doll YouTube videos, and they're pushing Democrat talking points. So obviously, even the American Girl doll people know what this is about. And then those same people are not telling you that they're getting damn near 6 figures just to push those talking points, even if it's not a specific.
Wait, but Fabian, that's your issue. They're not getting paid to push those talking points. Those people were getting paid to be
Okay, I guess the question would then become, okay, do you think that there is a substantial difference between someone being paid to push very specific talking points? Like they give you a list of items and they tell you to go down the list, right? Do you think there's a difference between that versus just being paid to do what you're currently already doing? Like choose one, right? Like which one is it? Well, I mean, we all know that there's a substantial difference. I mean, you can be against both, and that's fine, but I don't know. They're just stupid.
Mentors in an incubator program. They were not getting paid to make content about Democrats.
To be clear,
this is so fucking stupid. They're getting paid money as a part of a group that's the entire goal and funded is to push Democrat talking points. Yes, there's going to be some fucking issues here and there. What they're doing is they're selecting people that are Democrats that want to get Democrats elected, that talk about issues that are important to Democrats, and then boot.
For example, I don't even think that sponsors count in terms of comparing it to sponsors, because at least sponsors actually give you talking points. Like sponsors is a great example of this. Whenever I bring up Aura in the past, I have to bring up like very specific talking points. I bring up talking points because this is what they told me to talk about, right? However, it seems like for this one, they're not even giving talking points all that much, right? They're just simply paying them in order to boost their careers on purpose to make it more sustainable, right? I think that's like way more of a different thing, no? Or am I wrong? Like I'm pretty sure like Chorus doesn't actually do something as specific as like advertisement sponsors for streamers, right? Like they're even more lax than that. Are you being paid to hold? I am. Actually, unironically, yes.
Boosting them, giving them more opportunities, giving them money, allowing them to go full time, and increasing the popularity of those messages and making sure that those messages stream and that they're more seen. And then the people don't know that that's where that funding is coming from. And they have this false reality that these are like such normal issues that even the American Girl doll is talking about.
Okay, gotcha. Even Taylor herself said that there was no evidence, nothing that she saw to indicate that Chorus was pushing them to do like specific messaging or influencing.
This is so fucking retarded.
Hold on, let Hutch finish.
Engage.
Hold on.
Just engage with the actual points.
He's engaging with the author of the article instead of what other shit you're making up.
Perfect quid pro. No, this is not made up shit. It's a basic fucking.
Fabian, you've given your point. Let him respond. He can't engage if you don't let him respond.
Responding to a single fucking
I'm
point.
muting you. I'm muting you too, Soypill. Hutch, go ahead.
You're making these claims, these broad claims that the author of the article herself refutes. She never said this. Just straight up, period, end of. You're just. You really want to do your like nah argument? Go for it. But that is the author. It is. That's what you're saying. You're saying, bro, connect the dots, bro. You're saying connect the dots.
What is he spurging out over? I'm so confused. Why is he so angry about this? What is wrong with him?
Bro, that's not a very compelling argument to me when there's no evidence of this.
Okay, I'm gonna unmute him now.
Money. If you get money, okay, and then you get money from someone that says, I like Democrats. I like to give people that push and talk about Democrat issues money. Mm-hmm. And then you're getting that money so long, and that person goes, I could give this money to anybody. There's 1,000 people that could replace you at any moment. But I like you because you say the things that I like.
Because someone has to cover it.
And I want to help you. Does that not have an effect on both the algorithms, the channels that grow, and that person's speech any more than their audience capture that was
explain the presence of creators who were not only criticizing the Democratic Party, they were giving scathing criticisms of the Democratic Party.
This is
stupid. Fabian, to credit. Yes, obviously. Fabian, obviously, yes. There could be a chilling effect there.
So explain. And you didn't fucking get, you did
Fabian,
immediately
there could be a chilling effect.
Everyone follow Foodshops. You want Order and Riz. True. Munding Eyewear. Thank you so much for your tier 3, buddy. Thank you.
This is what about. I'm just saying. Yes, obviously the concern. If you're saying, is there a concern when someone is taking money from someone who could only be paying them because they share an ideology? Yes, there's always a concern there, and that's why obviously I think Hutch and I agree. Probably people should disclose that, especially when it's large sums of money at a certain point, because your audience has an expectation of authenticity. Yes. And if you're lying about it, if you're straight up just like, oh no, I'm not paid, I'm completely authentic, and you find this money somewhere, there might be coming into question: are you really on this side, or are you just being paid to do it? But that has nothing to do with what this article is alleging. This is just the concept of a chilling effect.
I can think of one example. I can think of perhaps one example where it is reasonable to demand like where the money is coming from. When you're being paid by like a Russian firm for millions and millions of dollars to continue doing and pushing the beliefs that you already hold, then yes, I do believe that even not being given, like even if you're not given talking points on it, I think that because of the money that you're being paid, I think it brings into question like what you're talking about, basically, whether or not you're beholden to like foreign assets, or maybe you are spreading like Russian propaganda somehow that the Kremlin themselves have directed. Yeah, because you're being paid millions of dollars for something like that. Normally, I'm just gonna say for sponsors and for anything like this, it's not even nowhere close to $1 million, much less $500,000, right? So yeah, it's not the same. But yeah, in that example, sure, you know.
That could exist. Yes, absolutely. But now let's talk about what the article is alleging. The fact that everyone is running away with it saying, oh, these people were paid to say this. And I can't believe I'm going to defend Ted Cruz here, but what's the difference between Ted Cruz saying, I'm pro climate change, and then getting $10 million and then becoming pro fossil fuel, or being pro fossil fuel and a big fossil fuel company saying, well, cool, you're going to do what I want. Here's $10 million. Obviously, he's going to feel some influence, but he's not changing his principle based on that.
Yeah, again, you're not addressing the argument, because I'm not saying that these people they have these 10 views, and then because they get money, they change 2 or 3 of these views. What I'm saying is that there's this big pool of money looking for content creators to push and to grow. And what they're saying is, look, we need people to hit like at least 8 or 9 of these views, because that's what's going to push forward. You're never going to get a perfect person, and both Taylor and myself are not claiming that they're saying you get more money if you say the right thing, or saying that we're gonna if you.
Also, it's kind of crazy to me that the anarcho-capitalist is the one that's saying this. Like the libertarian anarcho-capitalist is the one that's saying this. Isn't the whole point of anarcho-capitalism and libertarianism is like freedom, the free market and shit? Isn't this just simply the free market at play? If anything, he should be defending this, right?
Change your views, you know, then you get immediately kicked out. What we're saying,
Just
and what is stated, I mean, admittedly somewhat vaguely, I don't like fucking Taylor Lorenz, obviously, like anybody that knows, I'm not a fucking Democrat, right? Like I don't like social justice, anti-capitalist bullshit. But nevertheless, yes, there's a tinge of yellow journalism there. But the overall argument is true. And the argument is that when you have a bunch of dark money that people don't know about, and when you have people getting funded by this dark money, that changes the way that either A, can have a chilling effect on their speech, or at the very least B, all of that money can just pick a new person. And so those messages get paid for, and they get paid for in a secret, clandestine way, and so that normal people watching don't recognize that these ideas aren't necessarily popular.
We got to break down the argument. So one is the paid for, one is the secret part, and then one is the chilling effect, right? So would you say I'm paid to be a Democrat? Would you say I'm paid to be a progressive?
I don't know what
I'm a progressive. Would you say I'm paid to be a progressive? It's my full-time job now. Am I paid to be a progressive?
I mean, in a certain manner of speaking.
Oh, hey, this is also my full-time job. Hi.
Speaking, you're paid to do the content that you're doing for your audience.
Right, and I don't think this is a gotcha, by the way. Sure. I think, yes, 100%. My audience, if I became MAGA tomorrow, I would lose my entire audience. So there's always going to be, I have my principles, and it would just completely, like, if I shifted those, I'm not going to get this money. So yeah, I'm worried insofar as if for some reason I thought MAGA was the solution, I would become just financially ruined, okay? But the secret part, I think, is the more important part. These people are not being paid in secret. Chorus was very open about this, about the program and how this is working. A bunch of people are disclosing, hey, I work with Chorus, donate to Chorus, I'm part of this Incubator program. So some people are still secret. They have not released the names of all of these creators, and there might be privacy reasons for that. And I do think that, hey, if you are being paid, especially to make content about a political issue, you should probably say this was paid for by this.
Isn't it kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy? Because if you, because isn't there more of an incentive to hide your name now that like people are willing to harass people who are being paid by Chorus? Like if you're paid by Chorus and people are willingly trying to go and dox people who are associated with Chorus, right? Isn't that more of a reason to not disclose it? You're giving them a reason to not disclose it because you don't want to get harassed or doxed or swatted, right? Or like have the FBI being called on you. Like what the fuck? Like, this is a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's such a retarded fucking point as well. Like, now I don't even blame anybody for not disclosing. Because if you disclose, you're fucked. Yeah.
Or whatever.
People, but they're open?
No. I'm agreeing with you that there are some of these people that are kept secret, and that might be because of privacy, or they don't want what is happening now, which is, you know.
I love my kick chat. My kick chat is like only like 5 active chatters, but then they spam like the cutest emotes. Every time I look over at them, they're always just like, it's some, I don't know, it's cute stuff. Okay.
I don't know if you've seen the fucking smear campaigns coming out against some of these people that have their names released. Like, it's pretty bad. And I know Taylor herself has said, I'm not releasing the contracts because
That's
the
an
people in them.
for the secrecy, not against the secrecy.
Yes, this is my argument for the fact that they're not releasing all the names. But I'm agreeing with you that there is always going to be a chilling effect when you receive money from anyone for anything. Yes. Though, what are you alleging was wrong specifically in this case of that? Because if you're saying
after you answer,
giving any money,
oh shit! Did I did I predict what he was gonna say now? Oh shit! 500 IQ, dude.
Period is not okay, then I can contend with that. But if you're just saying this specific kind of giving money wasn't okay because some of these people didn't disclose that they were getting money for an incubator program, I think that's a total non-issue.
Well, to be clear, the incubator program was not public. Chorus, the project, was public. The incubator program, that's what the article is about. The
what was Chorus if not the incubator program?
They're two different things.
Chorus was a bunch of creators. They popped the newsroom as part of that. But in terms of like the daily messaging thing, the adequacy training, the payment,
what they do in the incubator program doesn't mean the incubator program wasn't public.
No, this
it
is
wasn't
not
public.
true.
It wasn't
You
disclosed.
made fun of him for not reading the article.
Okay, maybe I'm doing a reading comprehension gaffu now.
Yeah.
I really hate Soy Pill's hat so much. I just can't get over that thumbnail. I don't even know if it's a real thumbnail, but the thumbnail of like Tim Pool, like gaping Soy Pill, and it says like, Tim Pool anal prolapse to Soy Pill. It's just him in the hat. It looks like he's like trying to like gape a fucking Down syndrome baby toddler. It's like, what the fuck? I'm sorry. I don't even know if that thumbnail was real. It's just so fucking funny.
No, so there's two. There's Chorus, the overarching program, and then the 1630 fund as part of like a subgroup project was the Chorus Incubator program. Okay. These are two different. This is two different things. I mean, obviously they're under the same people in terms of BTC, but these are two different programs. So the overarching Chorus program was something that was open, that they were talking about, etc. The Chorus Incubator program was the one that people were signing contracts for, where they were saying you're not supposed to tell people. I mean, granted, that's one example, and we have to trust Taylor Renz, so that's like two reasons of why it might not be fully true. But nevertheless, presumably, the contracts that were sent out were saying you're not supposed to tell people that you're in this program, and that was the one that had additional. That was the one that was directly paying people.
So I'm confused because some of these people did say they were part of this program before her article. So obviously, it's not saying you can't. It was saying you should go through. I thought it was the incubator program, but if these are completely separate entities, as you're now saying, maybe I've completely misunderstood this.
They're not completely separate.
So the incubator.
I know.
Okay. I do. Hold on. I do want to get Prime Kai in here. He's been waiting a little bit. Okay, Prime Kai has something to say.
At 1 point.
1 point quickly.
Okay, so if you go to the Chorus website, I know Soypill, you said you wanted to, or you have signed up for it. I think you're not signing up for the incubator program. You're signing up to be part of Chorus. Okay, so you can't apply to be part of the incubation program. They reached out to creators, but yeah, that's the 1 point.
What are you applying to be when you're in Chorus then?
A part of Chorus.
What does that mean?
Look, not part of the incubating program.
What does Chorus?
What are you applying to when you apply to be part of Chorus? Part of Chorus. Oh no shit, Sherlock.
Chorus do outside the incubator program.
Marries people with politicians for like media interviews. Like they were doing that before the incubator program existed.
So forming a network of people and also the incubator program is for the smaller creators.
Yeah, to pay them. And
well, I mean, if David Packman is one of the smaller creators.
Well, hold on. It's a mentorship program, which means he would be the mentor in that relationship. But anyway, I want to give it to Prime Kai. He's been waiting a little bit. Go ahead.
Sure. I haven't met a side point. I haven't met the Stickers person before, but their voice is wonderful. I love it. It's even elegant when they call someone a retard. It's beautiful. Going back to whether this article was accurate, I was going to have a different angle from what you guys were discussing before. People have said that this article, takes pieces of the contract and paints them in a bad light. That in actuality, in the practical running of the organization, it's different. But I just want to point out that Taylor, unless of course she lied, reached out to the creators who are actually part of the program. She gave them a chance to comment, and then they roundly did not comment on the story. And to paint it, and I don't want to put exactly these words in the mouth of the opposing team here, but to paint it as this is a dishonest or just a poorly worded view of how this program works. It's like, she did reach out continuously to the creators, to the organization, and for the most part, she got nothing back, right? And it seems like, for people on the side, and again, I don't want to put this necessarily in your mouths, but it seems like
Wait. I'm sorry, Case. This guy in chat, Dickers, you just said find the word incubator. It is the fourth word on the paragraph that I just posted. The only thing you're applying for is the incubator program. You're just fucking wrong. Talk about my reading comprehension, dude. Come on.
Okay.
Oh, that's the particular program.
That's on the main page of We Are Chorus. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's not the main Chorus website, though, is it?
Yes, it is. Fuck!
I don't believe that actually is. The Incubator.
Wait, hold on. Send me the link to the website.
Join Chorus. It is the Incubator program. You have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. I got swayed by your British accent. I believed you for a second.
Program within the Chorus organization.
Okay. Send me the webpage.
If it's the only thing you can join is the Incubator program.
Send me the webpage because I haven't actually seen this webpage. Send me the webpage and I won't be the judge. But Prime Kai can finish your point. But
wait, the Incubator program. That sounds like a starting program thing, right?
DM me the webpage. I'm really curious now.
Sure. I guess that actually I don't know exactly
Like
where I was.
for
But
baby
yeah, I think,
think
no worries, it's fine. Yeah,
She
so
reached
I
out to multiple people and didn't get responses, so to frame it in a negative light.
Yeah. I think it's dishonest to do that. Like this is
a Wikipedia article right now, and it says
standard.
Cohen is also the co-founder of Chorus Creator Incubator Program. So I'm not seeing what you're seeing in terms of there being like a separate chorus.
The real question is, when is Quimman himself going to join one of these panels?
Incubator program is a program within Chorus, the organization.
Hold on.
Yeah,
the
but what?
article, it says Cohen is also the co-founder of the Chorus Creator Incubator Program. I think what Soypill is saying is that the incubator program is baked into Chorus.
Like fundamentally.
Yes, it's a part of Chorus, yeah.
Yeah, it's a part of
Like
Chorus.
the whole part.
Like the way the McDonald's
Chorus
training
existed
program, new employees is
before
part of
the Chorus
yeah.
Incubator program existed.
What did it do?
Oh my God,
Well, this is the stuff that came out in April, right? They're marrying creators with politicians to get interviews.
Like when they went to an event, right? And Taylor,
So I was right. This is
I don't know
the
if it's a
main website.
mischaracterization, right? But
If you go to the main website for donation, it says Chorus is a creator-led non-profit organization dedicated to helping content creators expand their reach and educate their audience about news and public policy issues that impact their lives. Founded by a group of content creators in December 2024.
Okay.
Chorus
What-
is
is that
recruitment training
different?
That sounds like the Incubator program.
Yeah,
Like-
exactly, yeah.
Oh my
That's
God,
not the
you
Incubator
guys are making fun of Dickers, and then you didn't read the fucking article or like watch the
Content.
video.
Well, to be clear,
He just described the
When did the
incubator
Incubator program
what he just
start?
said.
When
You
did the
can
Incubator
have-
like November of last year, right?
No, it
Well,
didn't.
no, Chorus
This is
started
the first
in
cohort,
November.
6-month program. How does that work?
You can imagine if they were starting this program with the
No, can I
intention
get an
of-
answer to that? Sorry?
Hang
Real
on,
quick.
I'm answering your question. You can imagine if the goal was to do this thing of building up smaller creators, it would take some time to onboard like bigger creators before you actually kick off the program in earnest.
Can you shout out my ninja John Hentai and tell people to vote for him the next conductor elections? What is a conductor?
That's
But
not.
you wouldn't just snap your fingers and then all of a sudden it's like boom, now we got our thing.
These are two different things. Okay, this
Yeah.
isn't up for dispute.
The Chorus
Chorus program. Chorus.
No one is
Chorus
elected
is
when
a
you're
fund.
electing.
And then the
Chorus is a
Incubator
fund
program
that hosts-
is to get in new content creators, small creators, yeah?
Chorus is a fund, okay, and that fund uses to like set up meet and greets. They were able to get the people into that building where they thought they might be getting interviews
Foodshops just endorsed me? What? I did?
with politicians, but it turns out they weren't necessarily getting interviews with those politicians. But then when Taylor Lorenz reached out to them, to BTC, he said that we had gotten 53 million.
The dumb Brit is not Beckett? Yeah, they have extremely similar names. No, Beckett is the one that does the fake laugh. Dickers is also the one that does the fake laugh, but he does less of the fake laugh. Beckett is the one that's slightly fatter than Dickers. Dickers is actually skinny. Let's see. What else is a difference? Yeah, there you go.
Million views, and so we had gotten more views from that program than like the major news media had gotten on Donald Trump's
Wait,
speech.
it's not a
This was-
fund,
Chorus
Fabian.
was there.
1630 is the fund. Anything that has money is not a fund. This is a specific
Okay.
program with a specific goal to specifically incubate creators.
No,
Yeah,
it's
no,
not.
this is
Oh my
this
God,
is just two
okay.
chills that are just
Again,
lying.
I'll go
and
back to my
doing everything
question.
against-
Okay, this started in December.
God, I hope they
It's
pay
a
me.
6-month program. It's now September. How are we still at the first cohort?
Because you don't start on day one when it's created. That's not how it works. Look, I don't
This
know.
is not
I've taken part in
dispute
some
by
of these.
anybody.
I would say the same thing back to you.
Okay.
But
So
these
they
things don't just like
founded
immediately
in
start incubating
2024,
people. They start a
and then
bunch of
for 6
funding, they
months,
make
they
their
did nothing,
connections, they
except
reach out to
they went
politicians,
on
they get their
politicians'
tentacles
doors,
in all the little
several months
politician
ago,
groups, and then they
like
get a bunch of money, and they're like, cool, let's do our pilot program. This is like normal.
The
Okay.
Incubator program is a program that they do. It's not the main organization. It's not the purpose of the organization.
Hang on. The FAQ.
It's one of the
first-
purposes, sure.
The FAQ,
What is the main
first
purpose?
thing, the very first thing on the FAQ. What
I'll
are the
tell you.
benefits of joining
Helping
Chorus?
content creators
In the
expand their
way
reach and
it
educate their
describes
audiences
this-
about
What do you
news
think
and
helping
policy
content
issues
creators
about their
expand
lives.
their reach?
Stop. Okay, I'm gonna
Political
mute you,
creators
Dickers.
and political figures.
Okay, I'm gonna
I like if I. What the fuck is that? What is going on? Wait. Oh. Wait. Wait. Bro. He's getting godly head, okay? He's getting godly head. Oh. Sorry, I'm so immature. I'm very immature, okay? Not funny. Not funny.
Hutch, get your point out, okay?
No,
Hutch was talking the whole time.
What are the benefits of joining Chorus? That's the first question. And then it says Chorus's Incubator program is a vibrant pro-democracy learning community. If Chorus was like a separate thing from the Incubator program, why do they describe themselves first and foremost, literally leading with the Incubator program?
Say like 10 minutes ago, the McDonald's training program is a part of McDonald's. It is a program that the organization carries out.
Does Chorus make burgers too? Is that like, do they have a separate thing they do?
They might do, for how much you seem to know. I don't know.
I think it's very obviously implying that the point.
A martini, shaken, not stirred.
I got you. Conductor is a substance that allows electricity to flow freely.
Oh, thank you so much. Thanks for educating me. Thank you.
All the way back in December, they were trying to marry creators with politicians so that they could create political content. They're trying to be a middleman between creators and politicians to facilitate those interviews, that type of content.
They also did why did Brian
months
Tyler
ago,
Cohen
they started the Incubator program, which is a new program that they are now doing.
Why did Brian Tyler Cohen, when he was first talking about founding this, like several months ago, I think back in November, why did he describe this as a program to uplift like smaller creators?
Because they would act as
part of the goal.
Why didn't he start the Incubator program then? You might say that was always his intention, but they are still separate, right? They're not just
wait. I want to grant something. Vickers, I need to concede. I need to concede something to Vickers. I need to concede something.
Oh, wait a second. I think I actually messaged Brian Tyler Cohen at some point to join his program. But that was a long time ago. Wait, hold on. Was it a long time ago? Fuck me. I'll show the email.
Because we can move on from this. Go
ahead, Swipe Bill, please.
Please. Okay. If all you're saying is that the Incubator program specifically, as in like the way that people join, is separate from the fact that some of the people affiliated with Chorus don't participate in the thing that like, hey, we're teaching you to make thumbnails. Like, hey, David Pacman, you might be a mentor on this. We'll also reach out to this one politician or something and let you talk to them. Okay, they do that as well. Cool.
Nice.
No,
it's an Incubator program.
No, before the Incubator program, Chorus had at least according to Taylor Lorenz and according to their own like I wrote it down in my notes, so I didn't give you a link because I feel like you're gonna ask for a link for everything. But go watch Taylor Lorenz's video. She showed where they were doing the Zoom call meeting, where they had bragged before they created the Chorus Incubator program of.
Okay, wait, I can't find it. Never mind.
Working with the DNC and Impactual LLC to be able to host a Zoom meeting that was sponsored by Chorus of all of the DNC candidites. They were doing
Zoom meeting
other
for?
things. They were hosting like a discussion with all of the DNC candidates leading up to was it one of the elections for one of the DNC leadership elections.
Okay, as long as we can all agree that this is clearly trying to get creators to expand their reach without telling them what to do, then that seems to be what it's for.
Well, I think you've forgotten the original point. So the original point of this is that people disclosed that they were a part of Chorus. There was not disclosure that the Chorus Incubator program existed,
right?
Or that people were part of the Incubator program or getting paid as a part of the Incubator program. This is the point.
Getting paid to participate in the trainings is different from getting paid to do any of the other stuff, all of which are purposely to make.
You don't know if mentors getting paid.
You made a false claim.
The Incubator program. You don't know that David Pacman's getting paid. He hasn't claimed that. Brian Taylor Cohen isn't getting paid.
I know he's a volunteer.
You made the claim that it was proof that there wasn't secrecy about being in the program because that people had already said that they were a part of Chorus, and then we had to explain to you, and you went through this semantic shitstorm because you're so fucking bad faith that we had to finally nail you to the wall that these are two different things, and that it can be true that someone could say, I'm working with Chorus.
Semantic shitstorm.
And also true that the Chorus Incubator program was a portion of that had a contract that said you're not supposed to talk about this.
Yeah, we've said
so. Have you guys seen the Ali O'Brien video where she says that I was part of Chorus before any of this happened, and that there was implication that there was payments received, as in some sort of financial assistance?
Did she say that? Was that in the post that she was getting paid? Did she disclose that months ago?
That's what she alleged.
She disclosed that she was part of Chorus.
No, I think you can do some like connecting of dots here, because like Brian Tyler Cohen, when he announced the program, he like very much described what the program was going to be. And so I think you guys are right. I think you guys are right that there was a secrecy clause in terms of like receiving funds. Soy Pill had already conceded earlier before we got bogged down in this entire conversation that disclosure would have been better. But I'm at the point now where I say like, fuck it. I'm totally on board with them like not disclosing because of the reaction that we're seeing like right now on this panel, and then the larger reaction on social media. It took about 2.
Okay, yeah, you're right. He did bring up this point. Yeah. This is and this is perhaps one of the most important points, is that if you're gonna make it a and the thing is and the thing is that this is like a this is anti-fan shit, right? Because sorry, am I back? Sorry. I got it. OBS says I got disconnected for a little bit. But yeah, this is anti-fan shit, right? Because if you think about it, it's just like how anti-fans are trying to make, they're trying to make Destiny as radioactive as possible by doxing and harassing everybody that defends Destiny. No F? Okay, thank you. And Destiny himself and all the orbiters and former orbiters of Destiny, right? Which makes people very hesitant to associate themselves with Destiny, right? So why wouldn't this also be the same case with Chorus, right? Why the fuck would anyone disclose anything or sign up in the first place to Chorus or have any kind of public association with them just simply because they'll just get doxxed by insane lefties? Like, at the end of the day, this is just anti-fan activity, right? Because you're trying to make Chorus as radioactive like how you're trying to make Destiny radioactive. I'm not saying this is the same issue. I'm just saying this is the same parallel, okay? Not the same in magnitude, because one is an organization, the other one is a person, but it's the same type of relationship, right? But yeah, that's what I'm trying to say here, okay?
2 seconds before people were accusing these people of taking funds to stay silent on Gaza. So if these people want to take those funds and not disclose it, and they're not legally obligated,
are you arguing with Twitter?
Yeah, fuck. That's my perspective.
He is arguing.
Did anybody on this panel? Oh, you're just arguing with Twitter.
No. He's not arguing with Twitter.
The larger conversation. It was so obvious that these people were getting smeared like right away. They were being accused of some of the most disgusting shit.
That's like so. Like what a bird brain argument. You're saying
hold on, let him finish his argument, then you can go.
Happening is a justification to tell these guys, hey, maybe don't disclose that you're taking these funds. Now, if you guys could establish in any kind of material way that the funds, them taking this money, impacted their content at all, then you would have a leg to stand on. But there's no indication that this was the case.
Well, you refuse rational arguments and you keep arguing with Twitter.
Well, give it.
You got a bird brain argument here, right? You're saying, oh, okay, so because there was a strong reaction the other way, you can.
You know what's the best way to protest this and protest these kinds of behavior is by signing up. Unironically, if you don't like the snark behavior that people give off, because what they want is for you to no longer associate with groups of people. What they want is for you to not risk anything, right? However, in my opinion, if you truly believe in anti-snark action, if you truly want to be an anti-snark or snark, like me, okay, you need to resist and protest. And part of that resisting and protesting this kind of behavior is actually unironically by signing up and not telling anybody about it. Or being loud and proud about it, in fact. Being loud and proud about it because you need people to know in order to protest it in the first place, right? So never mind about that not disclosing part. But the thing is that you should disclose on purpose, and you're going to get doxxed on purpose. And after you get doxxed on purpose, you should parade that dox around by saying, this is what they did. They doxed me for doing this. Do you see how insane these people are? And they'll start to lose ground. It's really as simple as that. Yes, it does come at personal sacrifice, but it's worth it, okay? Because you're trying to advocate for something tangible, so why not? You should be trying to advocate for something tangible, and Yeah. Anyway,
sacrifice these principles. You can be dishonest. Like what nonsense is that? So like,
Strong doesn't even begin to cover it. Take a look
so
at
the reason why that we're seeing the backlash we're seeing now is because there wasn't the transparency in the first place. If this had been clear from the very start, we wouldn't be having this issue at all. Right? So
just a little note on that. I disclosed about progressive victory, and I was very open about it. And I had that issue, so it didn't fix it. Even if you're at least
there are progressive victory people who disclose their entire fucking shit and are now being doxxed at their homes because of just aligning with someone that is politically antithetical to someone else.
Didn't help.
Also, anytime
I was no, sorry, I'm not looking at it. So like
Obama.
Like, there wouldn't have been. I don't think there'd be an article. I don't think there would be. Well, actually, there might be an article discussing.
Come from the Larva Lounge. Okay, never mind. I'm not. Never mind. I don't want to talk with Stale anymore.
Like the whole structure of the organization.
It wouldn't be a big deal though.
Yeah, I think it would be far less of a big deal. I worked for Progressive Victory as well previously. I disclosed everything. I didn't have a problem, but I can't speak to anyone else's experiences, so I'll give you that. But in any case,
would you recognize that?
Like, sorry, recognize what?
The fact, like what Wick said, is so relevant because like what's happening right now is like PV is getting wrapped up in all this as well, and we have Hassan Piker along with other like enormous lefty creators that are going on their stream and just flippantly accusing PV of being a Destiny slush fund that was paid to do Israeli propaganda. My mentions are fucking like nuclear.
Oh, also, I've thought about it, and I have determined that me being lazy exceeds everything, okay? Next time I cover one of these people who are doxing other people, and their video has not yet been removed or anything like that, I am not going to censor the doxes, because it's already out there to the worst people. So, like, in my opinion, it's just not worth the effort to, like, censor any more doxes. Just simply because it's like, I mean, dude, Lonerbox literally had his dox out there, literally had his docs out there on his own stream without censoring it, even though Hutch did, which, I mean, like, it's just, at that point, I'm just like, I just don't care anymore, okay?
Like a nuclear, like a fucking war zone. Would you recognize?
I don't know.
I'll cover the screen, though. I'll cover the screen.
Oh, one at a time. Stop. One at a time.
YouTube video. This is a debate. Why are you like this is drama slop bullshit that you're engaging in?
The
actual arguments about politics.
Why the progressive victory filings got used for doxing was
there are
because there was a
very real
misfiling.
consequences to these kinds of things, and that the internet is littered with horrible bad actors that make these insane, baseless claims. So could you not understand that maybe that could actually justify
that wouldn't change with disclosure? Is my point. So I'm addressing what you're saying.
That's Hutch's point too. That's Hutch's point too. It's not changing with disclosure. That's the point.
We disclosed, bro.
So Progressive Victory disclosed not just people's full names, also their zip codes, right?
No,
that's not
they didn't disclose any of this. They gave it to the FEC as a legal requirement.
Yeah, exactly. They disclosed it to the FEC on a public filing.
And then people, hold on, because I know about what happened here. And then people, and I know who did it too. I know there was several people who did it. Found it, and published that shit all over Twitter and things like that in order to harass and dox.
Look, Prime Kai is just happy to be here, okay? Look at this guy. He's a jolly old fella. Also, he's black. Sorry, that was not relevant to anything. My bad.
That was the point of not the.
Forget John Hentai. Endorse the best and greatest conductor, Ozma. Who?
Not PV giving it to the FEC, but for the people who found the FEC listings and posted everyone's address and full name and zip code all over.
That would have happened with or without disclosure, right? And that would have happened with or without an attachment to an organization, right? Politics online is incredibly toxic flavor of content. If your address is out there on a public listing and people find it, they will post it if they disagree with you.
Prime said
if they know you're paid, which you would only know if you're disclosed.
You do not need to get
Give it to Rinyald. I want to hear what Rinyald says. Rinyald, go ahead. Rinyald, please.
Prime said that this would probably disappear. He said there would probably be an article, but people wouldn't be mad if they had just disclosed up front. I think the progressive victory thing is an exact example of how that wouldn't happen. Disclosure doesn't really have any.
Did
like
they
you said,
disclose up front?
Who?
All of us did. All the creators in the program. All the creators in the program. We were all disclosing. I was disclosing on my stream. Wick, you were disclosing every single panel.
I'm just.
I would assume.
And to be clear, PV fucked up. Let's just be honest about that. Like that's the reason why the addresses got out there.
Yes.
That was not.
That's the point.
That was not even supposed to be a part of the FEC filing. But the point is that you can disclose. You can do everything right. You can be completely upfront about the work that you're doing. And the bad actors out there will find this, and they're still going to accuse you of crazy, insane.
I mean, there's people
may have been the
accusing.
mechanism. Okay, I'm addressing what is fine. The the mechanism through you getting your information out there was progressive victory. That's true. In terms of people going ahead and then doxing you, it's got nothing to do with PV. You're a political creator.
Okay.
A lot of people on the like
Hold
far
on.
left, especially.
Just real quick, Deckers.
Exactly,
Deckers.
it's relevant.
Just real quick,
That's my entire point.
Deckers. The point that they're making,
Deckers.
that Prime was making, and Prime said,
His
as
name is
Reynold said,
Dick.
that the harassment and the crazy shit would stop if they just disclosed. And the only reason we're bringing up the progressive victory is because that is evidence that, at least in progressive victory's case, that didn't seem to help. That's the only argument being made here.
So realistically, let's
give it back to Prime, please.
Sure. And I'd like to hear what you have to say, Reynold. I don't mean to like talk over you. Yeah. So to be clear, I never knew that people's were doxed in some sort of PV leak. This is actually news to me. Here.
It's the biggest piece. It was literally one of my first exposures to all of this. Wait, what? Wait, why did you join this debate without knowing anything? That was like the biggest thing that has happened in the past week. That wasn't Destiny related shit.
I think that when I say backlash, I mean that this is like a national, well, not national story. I don't know if it's a national story. I know it's within my circle.
Why is he here? What's the point of him being here? Oh my god.
My large circle here, and people are talking about this a lot. And it's making waves online. But in any case, I don't think that most of this dialogue would have happened. And people, if their audiences, right? Okay, so I had the way I found out about this is through David Pakman, actually, right? So I didn't read the article immediately. David Pakman made a response to the article. I saw that video first. And I thought, like, if I haven't read the article, that what he was saying was reasonable. That, like, yeah, like, it seemed so nefarious to me. I went to his comment section, and people were accusing him of all kinds of crazy shit. But guess what? This is the fucking internet. They do it all the goddamn time. That's going to happen, right? I appreciate what Scott was saying. Like, are you arguing with Twitter? Yeah, they're going to say craziness to you. People were saying, about David Pakman, oh, I guess that's why he doesn't mention Gaza. Like, first of all, it doesn't make any sense because the DNC is in favor of Israel, backs it completely, right? So he'd be incentivized to talk about Gaza one way or the other, right? In favor of the IDF. But secondly, no, that's obviously wrong.
Wait, what? Huh? Whoa! Whoa!
Oh, I guess that's why he doesn't mention Gaza. All kinds of crazy shit. But guess what? This is the fucking internet. They do it all the goddamn time. That's going to happen, right? I appreciate what Scott was saying. Like, are you arguing with Twitter? Yeah, they're going to say craziness to you. People were saying about David Pakman, oh, I guess that's why he doesn't mention Gaza. Like, first of all, it doesn't make any sense because the DNC is in favor of Israel, backs it completely, right? So he'd be incentivized to talk about Gaza one way or the other, right? In favor of the IDF. But
oh, okay. He's countering that point. He's not anti-David Pakman because he's like Jewish.
Secondly, no, that's obviously wrong. I was completely skeptical of that argument because the Gaza situation has been happening for nearly 2 years. This incubator program is brand new, and I think the most likely answer is that Pakman is a disgusting dog shit Zionist who understands his views are unpopular and just not going to talk about it. That's the reason why he hasn't said anything. But even then, still, people took that opportunity in this moment of friction of contention.
Did he just call David Pakman a dog shit Zionist? Wait, what?
The Gaza situation has been happening for nearly 2 years. This incubator program is brand new, and I think the most likely answer is that Pakman is a disgusting dog shit Zionist who
Prime Kai just called David Pakman a dog shit disgusting Zionist? Hello? Anti-Semitism department, you ringing? For not talking about Gaza. For not talking about Gaza. He's a dog shit Zionist. Why don't you call Brian Tyler Cohen that? Because Brian Tyler Cohen doesn't really talk about Gaza that much either, right? Why is it specifically David Pakman, even though they're the same fucking line of work? Well, why is it specifically? Why the fuck is it specifically David Pakman? Why not Brian Tyler Cohen? Why not anybody else in that liberal space? Okay, that's fucking weird, I guess.
Understands his views are unpopular and just not going to talk about it. That's the reason why he hasn't said anything. But even then, still, people took that opportunity in this moment of friction, of contention, to put that out there. Oh, now I see, right? There must be something shadowy about that. I get that happened, right? But like the way
he's talking about the comments he saw under the video. No, but he's talking about Pakman directly, right? He's trying to find a reason, like, why David Pakman haven't really talked about, why he hasn't talked about the issue, the IVP issue, right? And he just went straight to the fact that David Pakman is a Zionist, is a dogshit Zionist. He went straight to that, right? He was previously talking about the comments, and he said that he doesn't think that he doesn't think that David Pakman doesn't want to talk about the issue because he's being paid. He thinks that he's not talking about the issue because he's a dogshit Zionist. What a crazy fucking thing to say. Jesus, okay.
To help mitigate that, I'll say this instead, right? Rather than stop it completely, the way to help mitigate that is always just be upfront with your connections, right? Especially your financial connections, and then you have to let the chips fall where they may.
I mean, doesn't it speak directly against the fact that disclosure would have helped it? That people are accusing David Pakman of taking money from AIPAC when, I mean, nothing like that ever got disclosed. They're just making that up. So,
people,
again, why do you assign every single negative Jewish stereotype to David Pakman without actually saying anything related to, without actually saying the word Jew or Jewish? Like, why the fuck are you assigning? See, that's what makes me suspicious. Okay, that's what makes me suspicious. Like, when somebody just happens to be Jewish and they happen to be a commentator in the space, like, why the fuck do you assign them every single negative Jewish stereotype ever? To them, even though somebody else also shares these same beliefs and they're not Jewish. You don't, I mean, again, you don't call BTC that, right? Nobody calls BTC a fucking dogshit Zionist. I don't think Prime Kai would call him that, right? But yeah, I'm beginning to think there's a little bit of fucking internal projection.
Yes, people on the internet make shit up at the slightest opportunity. But specifically, the thing I was responding to was Hutch. Hutch said specifically, hey, the reason now I'm against disclosing because
He would. BTC is a Jew too. Really? Is Brian Tyler Cohen actually Jewish? Oh, shit. Okay, maybe he would also call Brian Tyler Cohen that too as well. Isn't Pac Jewish, though? Yes, I guess they're both Jewish. Wait, so would he call BTC that as well?
I see this reaction. That's what I originally responded to, right? That's crazy, right? Oh, because post facto, right? After the fact, I see craziness online. I'd say, no, we shouldn't have some sort of principle of transparency. That's nonsense. That's an awful argument.
I don't understand how you can, like, you're just sort of dismissing like doxing and massive amounts of harassment. It's like, oh, that just happens on the internet. Like, if you're a small, if you're a small creator, that was
so full of shit. Let Hutch finish. Let Hutch finish, please.
Fucking Christ. If you're a small creator that gets picked for this incubator program, you don't have like a big following. You're not used to that level of attention. You're certainly not used to that level of harassment, doxing. So whether or not, like, listen, I'm sympathetic to arguments that people should over disclose.
Look, listen, okay, all right. Oh, no,
I think that's like generally good practices. However, I understand the idea to protect smaller creators from that level of harassment that you guys are just kind of just like, or, oh, that just happens on the internet. That's not a small thing to have, hundreds of people.
Have you responded to a single argument this entire panel?
I'm beginning to realize never again means never again keeps happening again and again, okay? All right, that's all I'm going to say.
Can you hear me? Is my mic on? I'm responding exactly to what you just said.
No, you're not. I don't think you know what an argument is. Do you know what an argument is?
What are you not following?
Do you know what an argument is? I'm just curious.
I am making the argument that the response that we're seeing.
Do you know what an argument is?
Can you shut the fuck up for 5 seconds? Seriously, I'm making the argument that.
Yes, spit. Shut him the fuck, dude. He's so annoying. He's so fucking. Oh my god, he's so annoying. Yes, get him to shut up.
What we're seeing right now with the crazy level of harassment is the reason why they would have that kind of a protection mechanism in the contract. You understand?
Do you know
You,
what
guys
an argument is?
you guys are making the case that like, oh yeah,
Do you
disclosing.
know what an
would-
argument is?
You guys are making the case that disclosing would have fixed all that. Obviously not. You're
No,
that is, I don't
no,
know how
no,
you
you're-
make
No
that
one made
argument.
that argument,
It's
but
a
do you know what an
damn
argument
near-
is?
It's a damn near non
Nobody made that
sequitur.
argument.
No,
Are you
wait,
listening?
no,
Do you know what
you're
an
no, you
argument
didn't
is?
listen, Matt.
Well, I want to hear
It's-
from Prime. Prime, please.
It's a damn
I'm
near
just
non
curious if Hutch
sequitur.
even knows what an argument is.
It's
No,
a
he
damn
doesn't.
near.
I don't know what an argument is. Let's move on. Okay, we're good.
It is a damn near non sequitur to insert like, oh, not, you aren't going to protect them from doxing. Doxing going to have. I talk about transparency. I talk about, hey, you should, talk about your financial relationships, right? Just like you do with any other sponsorship that you get,
Just a
right?
drink.
If you got something
A
from
martini, shaken, not stirred.
You guys realize that we're in the 20s, and society is buying into the Jewish conspiracy again?
Yeah, that's why I gotta defend my fellow Jews, okay? As a Chinese person, all right? Don't you know that Jews and Chinese people in the United States have always been closely intertwined by eating each other's food?
Amazon.com or something, and you got cut a check, then you should do an ad read and let them know this is the sponsor section, right?
This is like finally goes to what I'm trying to say, which is like, what is the material?
Let Prime finish.
There's no reason to talk over me, please.
Let Prime finish, and then we'll get to Soy, then Hutch.
Yeah, so there's to go from like talking about we should have a principle transparency to say, oh well, if you are transparent.
I'll be honest, I'm not even sure if it's a real stereotype or not, but I always hear it all the time. I'm pretty sure it's true. Basically, the stereotype is that since Jews do not celebrate Christmas, what they do instead is that they go and because Chinese people have their restaurants open always, all the time, even on Christmas, because they want to collect the cash. What Jews would do is that they would, on Christmas, instead of celebrating Christmas, they would just go out and eat Chinese food. Because Chinese restaurants are like the only places that are open. So that is basically how that relationship formed, I think. But yeah. So it's like how these two things line up perfectly, and yeah, they just happen to be friendly because of that, and they formed a close-knit bond.
And you'll get doxxed. You can get doxxed? No, I'm sorry. Shit happens, right? It's really unfortunate. Again, I'm just hearing about this PV incident.
It's really
That's
cute.
Really unfortunate.
Okay?
That's a misfiling
it's a
from what I'm
cute
hearing
thing.
from Dickers and all the rest, right? That seems like a misfiling. But to say that, oh, from there, right?
Also, not only that, lamb is a part of Middle Eastern cuisine, and so in Chinese food, lamb is also extremely popular. I'm not saying it's exactly the same, but like both separated cultures that have developed on their own appreciates lamb. It's great.
Follows that, like, because you are transparent, you're probably going to get doxxed, and that is the reason we have to hide our financial entanglements. That's nonsense. That's a non sequitur.
I wonder if
the idea, Case, is that there are people in this program who have zero online presence because they're part of an incubator that may or may not want to be immediately public before they get expanded. And if you're a figure in your contract, it's like, hey, don't just go in public and say, oh yeah, Case, he's part of that. Oh, Hutch, he's part of this. Yeah, he's getting money from them.
I'm not asking
you've got to.
I'm not asking.
No, hold on. You gotta let Soy finish responding.
But no.
That is the implication. No. I know you're not saying the chorus.
Because chorus is not. I'm not saying chorus should necessarily like publish a list. I'm saying the creator should publish. So like the creator would be saying it wouldn't give them more attention, right? If on my 5 viewer channel I say, oh, I'm working with chorus, that doesn't give me 6 viewers, right? It doesn't do anything. So that would be if chorus put that publish a list on their site. I'm not even asking for that.
Right.
Also, the idea that these are like tiny creators with no presence online just isn't true. In the reporting that Taylor Lorenz did, these people have combined like millions of followers online.
Okay, now we're getting to a reading comprehension thing. The biggest people being paid the most were the big
on
followers.
On this panel combined, we have millions of followers.
Presence.
But...
These are that's the point of the incubators. People trying to get into streaming who are not doing anything and they need to expand their reach. This is a wide range, which is why some people are being paid $8,000 a month and some people didn't get shit or were offered like $100 bucks because these are
people
$250 was the minimum.
Brought into this campaign that had no online presence.
They're not saying no online presence. They're saying negligible.
No, I did say no online presence because I'm also confusing it, to be fair, with some people who literally have no online presence in a different program that I might be a part of. So, excuse me. Now, I am allowed to disclose that, to be fair.
We don't know the vast majority.
The point is, my initial claim, to go all the way back to this, and we don't...
Shaken, not stirred.
Enjoy this dark money.
Thanks for the $2. Very influential, thank you.
have to dwell on this too long, but saying you are part of Chorus and saying you are part of an incubator program are both, hey, I'm disclosing that I'm working with a fund whose mission is to expand the reach of these people. Now, if you want to say, hey, they have to disclose the exact amount of money, that's a different story. If you want to say, if they don't say it at all, this is a completely different thing, especially if they're telling them what content to make. But when Ali or any of these other people or Brian Tyler Cohen say, I'm working with Chorus, you go on the Chorus website, Chorus says, we're trying to use the fund from all of your donations to expand the reach of these people. And you're now telling me there's a huge material difference between connecting people with politicians and, hey, I'm teaching you how to expand your content through like digital means and how to use these tools. I think this is a complete insane distinction that like does not matter. This is Chorus and people saying I'm part of Chorus and Chorus is helping me.
There's a very clear distinction there, right?
What's
between
the distinction?
Like just receiving these support and like getting access to politicians and having this newsroom and that's all cool, and then actually receiving money.
Why does the money in this specific thing make a difference?
Because you're getting some kind of like remuneration
to
for the political
what?
advocacy you're doing.
We also don't know.
You think
to train you up
if they didn't post any content?
I have a question.
Can I get a thing from that?
The point is training them.
If they stop posting content for like the next 3 months.
Yeah, if the point of the program is to expand left-wing content creators, obviously, if you didn't do content creation, they wouldn't want you to be part of the program. Yes.
Right.
What?
Point of the organization. Expanding the reach of left-wing creators, that's the organization, not the program.
What's the point of the program?
What's the point of the program? The incubator program.
Small creators, specifically.
Right,
to, like,
creators.
So
would you not say that is a subset of expanding?
Bro, every single day I become more tempted to sign up for Chorus out of spite, okay? Do it not because I cover politics, doing it just because I love the hate, okay? I love it when people hate me, all right? That's just my personal preference.
Okay, I have a different question, perhaps on the anonymity subject. I do want to talk about the anonymity subject because Hutch did bring up a new thing where he didn't care if people actually disclosed, right? Because there would be value to anonymity. You, Dickers, Prime Kai, and I think Fabian
training. I don't need training.
And you can correct me if I'm wrong if I've mischaracterized.
I don't need training. I can teach other people at this point.
Tries that. But how far would you extend this
I'm doing content creation, right?
want of transparency? Do you think that people should be required to disclose how they vote?
I hate you. Thank you.
What? No, that's
no. Why? But why shouldn't?
Something else?
Why is it bad that we protect the anonymity of someone who votes, of how someone votes?
Because voting is something you do. This is a benefit that you're receiving.
Oh, outreach. Okay.
I mean, there's so many distinctions. Like, we could come up with 100, right?
I don't even agree.
The anonymity of
how is the vote going to apply to you?
Because
it might bias you against doing crimes, maybe.
Hold on, right? We understand that not just money can influence us, correct?
Yes.
Like who I'm dating.
You know what? I'll say this again for like the 50,000th time ever since becoming a content creator in this space. What influences someone more is social validation, period. People would sacrifice their paychecks to get more social validation, okay? Easily, okay? People spend money on social validation directly, okay? So you can't you can't compare the two. It's not even close, okay? Yeah. So what I think is that if anything, Queenman's Circle is more incentivized to do this sussy bakana secret meetings type shit, secret Discord meetings type shit, I think that is the real question, okay? Because the thing is that if we want to really have the same standards, that's fine. But money is one thing. On the other hand, you have the anti-fan circles who are just circle jerking each other off privately, all right? And they all fall in line and they don't toe the line, right? So, in my opinion, yeah.
If I'm hold on, stop. Okay. If I'm dating someone who is a Republican, okay, she's really hot, okay, and she just happens to be Republican, does that have a potential to influence? Does that influence?
That would be unduly kind of incisive into your personal life.
Validate
if you have to give away
me,
personal relationships you had, yeah.
It'd be unduly. I'm just asking why you're drawing the line on money.
Well, because there's a quid pro quo, right? There's a meeting of the minds. There's a contract sign, right?
No, to be fair, though, journalists oftentimes talk about their personal entanglements with hey, like this person was the best man at my wedding, I don't know, and I'm doing an article on their like organization. I think people like do talk about their personal entanglements, and
So listen, there's two types of influence, right? You have the general influence that you're discussing, and then you have undue influence. I don't think anyone here is alleging like a English common law level of like undue influence, right? Undue influence might be if they signed a 12-year contract that says you must do this, and then if you break the contract, you owe them $60,000 or something, right? Like you might be able to argue undue influence here. And I agree with you, right? If you had a Republican girlfriend, that would influence you. Or if you
shaken, not stirred.
Provide me with social validation, please. Folded hands.
Stumbling, I'll provide you with social validation every day because you deserve to be happy, and I'm happy that you're one of my mods. Thank you. Okay? You are our Glowmite Queen, and you'll never be replaced. Thank you for the $5.
were, you know, able to join some creator program that was specifically designed to fight liberalism like Progressive Victory, but it gained you like a bunch of opportunities with other streamers and got your name out there, that would influence you against the presumption of like being for liberalism because Progressive Victory was against liberalism, right?
Could. It does not necessarily have to.
I guess, Fabian, the fundamental question is, this might cut to the chase, Fabian. Well, no, because we can cut to the chase. Let's cut to the chase.
I know you want to
Well, yeah, because you talk for a long time, and this will cut to the chase, and we'll make it so much simpler. Why do you think the secrecy clause was there?
Why do I think the secrecy clause was there?
Right, because the implication by the article is that we want you to be authentic, but we don't want you to let other people know that you're paid, right? That is the implication of the article. Would you disagree with that?
I think trying to read into the implication as opposed to the actual words gets a little difficult.
But isn't that the whole conversation? Is you are implying that because there's money that isn't being disclosed, the implication is that we can't trust what they're saying and that there's something nefarious going on?
I was trying to explain. I was trying to explain, right? Why there's a distinction with being paid by a program is the distinction here is, listen, if I'm a content creator that's not getting paid, everyone recognizes that there's all kinds of influence in my life. Everyone knows that I might be influenced by my mom's opinion. I might be influenced by the place I live. I might be influenced by the audience that I have.
Right,
when
it's
you
authenticity,
keep a secret
right?
that you are getting paid, that there's a fraudulent element, not necessarily legally fraud, but there is a fraudulent element in that you gained your clout, you gained your followers, you gained your influence, and all of these opinions are based upon the hard work that you put in.
Yeah, and so what? You pay $50 to buy like a fucking prostitute for cheap sex, so then you can brag to your friends later about having genuine sex, right? With your girlfriend. People like, yeah, there are things more influential than money, and that is one such case. But you know,
into your channel by yourself because no one knows that. Oh, I don't know. Maybe you did. Maybe you didn't get botted by someone.
Right. Wait, like, Fabian, you hit it perfectly. This is the whole crux, right? Like, okay, so if you say Chorus helps me out and you don't say anything about money, would that dispel the notion that you've done this all on your own?
Yeah, I mean, it would dispel the notion that you've done it on your own if you say I am a part of Chorus.
Right, or like specifically, like I've said in the past, I haven't disclosed the exact amount, but I've said Progressive Victory helped me with this video, right? They helped me out here, and well, they actually didn't give me any money.
Yeah,
for that video,
you see YouTubers do ad reads all the time. They don't say Raid Shadow Legends gave me.
Well,
this
but the ad read is very
money,
explicit. This is a different story. Yes, they're like paid for by. Right. Like, yeah, this is sponsored by.
If in the video description it said I'm an affiliate of Chorus Media, then people have the right. Like this is kind of the
right. So, but the question about the whole article then is, it's not about fraud. No, it's just about this because you were right on point when you said it's about the authenticity, Fabian. So is the
Fabian? Okay, guys, we gotta call him Fabian from now on. Okay, from now on we have to call him Fabian. Okay, fuck Fabian, he's Fabian now. Okay, Fabian as in faux pas. Okay, Fabian, Fabian. Okay, Fabian.
Contract is the contract written that
Fabian
way because
Liberty.
you think that Chorus is like, I don't want these people to look like they're getting paid to have these opinions.
Nobody fucking knows. Nobody knows the exact implication behind
this. Anything fun? No.
So
I mean,
my stream is never fun.
The exact reason why that could be.
Stop watching.
I think part of it potentially could be an argument that they're supposed to be a non-partisan organization. If they disclose everyone as part of it, they're all Democrats. That might cause issues for them. There's a little bit more of a schizo theory though. Ultimately, political advocacy done with, by the way, I'm sponsored by this kind of like political organization, is going to be less effective, even if I couldn't put a number on it, than political advocacy without any of that disclosure, right?
Especially if you're an American Girl Doll channel.
Watches that and thinks, you know what I mean? You're only saying this because you're getting this money. You're only saying this because you're part of this organization, right? This just seems like trivially like easy.
Right. So I don't know if you've ever read any contract from any sort of these things, but it's very common to say, hey, don't go around sharing all the information about other people or disclosing how much you're paid or all of these things because of what Hutch was talking about. Hold on. Because of what Hutch was talking about with the like doxing or people being exposed and all the attacks that we're seeing right now. So it seems pretty clear to me.
Not the claim.
it seems
The
pretty
claim
clear
is
to
that you're not supposed to discuss that you are a part of the program.
One second.
That is the
No,
claim.
no,
That's the
stay
issue.
here, stay here, stay here.
You're
I'm
not
sorry,
supposed to
bro.
dox other people that are working or
You-
give out information
no.
about what goes on in the background. The claim, right? You can say the claim is wrong, or you can say Taylor Lorenz is lying, or that the contract isn't the same contract everybody else had. Those are all rational arguments. But the claim that you're meant to contend with is that they say, don't tell people you're in this program.
I'm gonna be honest. So far, I haven't even found one Jewish woman who is not bisexual. Has anyone also like seen something like that? I have literally never seen a single Jewish woman who isn't bisexual. I feel like literally all of them are bisexual. Sorry, it's just something I've noticed. Yeah.
You
Just to like
And
on
then
my
this-
side, okay? Can I just have a quick huddle with like my gang? Is anyone here making the argument that the people receiving money have to like disclose their entire contract, the amount that the amount that they're paid?
No.
Any of the other people are in there? They need to disclose if
No.
they know like who's running this. No, the internal.
No.
Just probably the
No.
fact they are getting paid, right?
Yes.
Just kind of.
Hila?
Okay, cool. Just thought I'd clear that up.
How do you know
Okay.
she isn't bi?
Please.
Yeah.
Okay, so the idea that they're asking you not to disclose potentially this pilot program, if the implication of the article seems to be that they're doing this because they, like Dicker said, ruin the what would otherwise be perceived as an authenticity thing, despite the fact that lots of people in Progressive Victory were disclosing their like connection to Progressive Victory, or even like monthly stipends from Progressive Victory, they're not losing that authenticity because they're disclosing it, but they're still getting all these attacks of you're bought and paid for as this Zionist, Hasbarist, like, you know, collection fund. So it's part of protecting potentially the smaller creators in this program. And two, all these other bigger creators and some of the smaller ones were saying, I'm part of Chorus. Chorus is helping me out. Now, whether or not they're saying financially or not, I don't have the exact video, but the point is that it's like very clearly part of this. And this incubator program, if you're calling it a distinction, like, yeah, the secret program where they pay you money to figure out how to expand your reach, and somehow this is like the shady part and not like, hey, they're paying you to not talk about certain issues, which is like kind of what the implication of the article is, seems ridiculous to me. Like,
Wait, where does
What-
it
I'm
imply
a
that in the
content
article?
creator. I get zero money from any outside source. I get death threats all the time. Talking about doxing and death threats is like a safety issue for online political commentators is a fucking just, it's an aside. It's a subversive, bad faith bullshit thing that you keep trying
I don't
to
think it's
push
bad faith
Wait,
to
just
worry
because
about.
you
Like,
know
I'm not
that
with
our
this
disclosure.
issue is whether or not it is transparent that these people are being
I
groomed, given opportunities,
agree.
and funded.
That the transparency should be there. That is something I said at the beginning. I prefer if people disclose if they're getting large sums of money, especially if it's from a political organization. But the thing I'm keep trying to add nuance to this is, one, it's an incubator program that is not, hey, here's what you should do. It is, here's how to be better at content creation. Now, obviously, if there's a wink, wink, nudge, nudge, this is only picking Democratic people or people left of center. Like, this is like without a question. But that's part of the.
Do we think
the
that's
fucking-
bad? Do we think it's bad? That
I
they
don't. I
only-
don't think that's bad.
Okay.
To add for left-wing creators, I don't think so.
If you, yeah,
I mean,
like if
I
you
don't
had
think
a,
it's. I don't even think it's bad so long as it's disclosed. I'm worried about the fraudulent element of people that have gain these large audiences because they are astroturfed or not, and so people.
But that's the
think,
thing. It's not
like,
astroturf. It's not like they're buying bots or they're like saying, "Hey, this is
mean-
how you lie to your audience to grow." And like I
Fabian,
said,
no.
as someone
I mean,
who's
like-
just now trying to do something like
bots are
this,
super
evidence
fucking
of it.
teaching
common.
you, hey,
but there's
this is
no
how
evidence.
YouTube algorithms works. This is thumbnails that catch the eye. This is me. I'm the mentor, David Pacman. This is why I have millions of subscribers, and this is how you can do it too. Not, hey, like we're gonna dump a bunch of money into like pay people to subscribe to you. Like that's not astroturfing.
No, you don't
Okay,
get it,
first and
Fabian.
foremost,
I don't think
Your claim-
astroturfing
your
implies
claim-
something, right?
Right.
Well, astroturfing
First and
implies some
foremost,
sort of
your
like
claim-
inauthenticity
so
of
first and
like
foremost-
fake support. Like it's like, hey, we're
So
paying it to
first
look
and
like.
foremost-
Not
so-
grassroots, right?
so
And then
first
these
and
people aren't
foremost-
like paying their bills
first and
based on money
foremost-
their audience is giving them.
Would you
Yeah,
call
so
Bernie
first
Sanders
and
Okay,
campaign
okay,
grassroots?
all of you,
So
all of
first
you,
and
you're doing it
foremost-
again. You're doing it again. Let's go, Fabian. Fabian, finish your point, please.
Yeah. So first and foremost, what you were doing is you were saying we're going into the domain of unknown, right? We don't know whether or not they're botting accounts or whether. Or
No,
not they are.
come on. We're not doing conjecture.
Wait, so it's the domain of unknown, so we should assume malice. It's the world of the unknown, so without making a positive claim that requires positive evidence, you are instead just simply asking questions and you're leaving it as is. That is like a MAGA level conspiracy theory level of integrity, right? Because you're like, oh, I'm just asking questions. Are our politicians being paid for or bought by foreign interests without any kind of evidence, or are we just asking questions? It's just very retarded. Okay.
Sure, here, bro. Let's stick to what's in the
Right.
reporting or like
No,
a
no, no,
reasonable inference. Okay.
Hutch, be quiet.
Hold
You're
on,
only
just
here
real
because
quick,
you're
Fabian.
journalist.
Do you have
don't
any
anything.
evidence
No,
that they
no,
are
no.
being botted?
Why are we talking about botting, bro? What does that have to do with?
Wait, also, how is this more worrisome than Hassan literally telling people in private to not smack talk him? What? We have this like multi-millionaire who in the background is DMing people personally in order to stop smack talking him. Why aren't we bringing more attention to something like that? Like, what? But okay.
Because again,
No, I brought it up.
No, he brought it up. Like, no, you called it astroturf, and now you're debate broing yourself into like, well, we don't know that they weren't botted. Like, let's just stick to what's in the reporting.
Botting is super common amongst large.
There's no indication of this in her reporting or anywhere. You're like, why are we talking about?
I know you don't, because if you just
we don't know that they weren't paying Google millions of dollars to like boost them in the algorithm. Is that a relevant part of this conversation? Obviously not.
I'll say this is
it is, but I don't think your brain is capable of following the
conversation. They are like paid to take certain positions or change their mind, right?
No. Of
course there are.
Then why is everyone accusing?
Well, Fabian, finish your point quickly. Hold on, let Fabian finish his point quickly. Maybe he can draw it in. Yeah.
My point is that the framing is you are assuming all of the things that we don't know to the most conservative estimate of what is bad. Like it is well within the realm of possibility that there was AIPAC funding. We just don't have any evidence of that, right? It is well within the realm of possibility that they do bot. This is a common practice in large social media accounts, and when people pump money into channels and managers do it so that they can sell the success that they've done. Now, I'm not saying they are doing that, but what you're saying is you assume all of those things.
Right. Managers, if you know what I mean. Managers? What do you mean? Like rap artist managers.
To not be true, as if that is the evidence.
Yes, I look at any evidence. I don't operate in unfalsifiables with zero evidence there. It's a ridiculous point of conversation.
It's not an unfalsifiable. What you're saying is
it's literally unfalsifiable. We don't know if they were botting or not. There's zero evidence. There's zero allegations. So why even talk about it?
How is it possible that there was AIPAC funding that we don't know about?
Because AIPAC directly donates.
AIPAC funds a bunch of things. Because 1630 has like their largest donor was $50 million. We don't know who that person was.
AIPAC has to disclose that spending. They can't just give things secretly.
The amount of naivete that people have to not realize
that
true. NGOs
AIPAC has to disclose when they pay political campaigns. They don't have to disclose when they pay a dark money group. That's the whole point of a dark money group.
That's the whole point of dark money. That's the whole reason that dark money has been a topic in politics for like the last 30 fucking years. That's the whole reason we had campaign finance reform in the 1990s and in the 1970s and under Nixon and in the 2000s. Like your knowledge of politics in general is so surface level, brother. Like just sit out.
A lot of AIPAC spending is known because of stuff like AIPAC Tracker. All they do is they look at like public disclosures over campaign funds, right? They're not looking at money that they donate to the 1630 fund. That just goes as an outgoing. They don't disclose who they're paying with that.
I'm not saying AIPAC did. I am saying it's fucking hilarious that David Pakman tried to pretend like he doesn't know how to say AIPAC. He's like AIPAC or IPAC? I don't even know. AIPAC, IPAC? I don't know what that is.
It's been hilarious in 20 years, by the way.
It's a fucking abbreviation, you fucking moron. Yeah, like, of course there isn't a set way to pronounce it, because it's a fucking abbreviation.
Has no idea. You know what I mean? So I mean, like, there's some evidence to suggest that the dude's such a slimy piece of shit that it seems like he's covering for some funding he may or may not be getting. I don't fucking know, right? But all I'm saying is,
dude, I'm the anti-Semitism cat. I meow when I detect anti-Semitism.
is that when you frame it that these things are definitely not true, you don't know that. I'm not asking you to prove, I'm not trying to ask you to prove an unfalsifiable claim or anything.
AIPAC could be funding you through super chats right now. We'd never know. It's possible.
That's true. Super chats publicly disclosed.
I mean, but it's just, well, they don't have to, hold on. They don't have to publicly disclose super chats. Why would they? Like if AIPAC was going to give a bunch of money to some people, and those people could be super chatting, why would they have to disclose that?
Oh yeah, AIPAC is a 501c4. 501c4s do not have to publicly disclose. They only have to disclose to the IRS, and the IRS can decide whether or not to redact.
You're right. Hold on, pause. You're right. You know how I can prove that they're not, or that they at least won't in the future? Fuck the nation state of Israel. Fuck Bibi Netanyahu. I hope you hit your big toe on your furniture every fucking night, because that's the closest thing I can say about.
I mean, weren't a lot of the course people saying that too? I mean, a lot of course people were also coming out pretty strongly against Israel, so I don't know if that would lend towards AIPAC donating towards the 630 club.
It would absolutely project. Maybe not the 1630, but it would certainly lend towards the fact that they weren't.
Go ahead, Brian.
For course. And just quickly, in terms of the super chat thing, like, I mean, they wouldn't have to use the official AIPAC account, right? They could just use any account.
Well, then, how are you influenced them?
No.
How am I influenced by super chats? Hold on, Dickers. Hold on, just real quick. Are you asking me how am I influenced by my super chats?
No, I didn't say that. I'm talking about a specific organization who's going to be funneling through a bunch of bot accounts.
Sure.
If there's not a relationship there, there's no contract, there's no meeting of the minds.
fair. I think
what's your problem with dark money if you don't know where it's
I
coming
think you were
from?
just saying that he could. I think the
That's the whole
implication
point
from
of dark money.
I think the
No, what's your
implication.
problem? I have a
Super
problem
chats
with the fact
too.
we don't.
But it's kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? As well, because as soon as you disclose where your dark money is coming from, or you disclose every single one of your like monetary sources, doesn't that like original dark money no longer become dark money? Like it no longer counts as dark money anymore, right? So even if you disclose everything, won't people still say that you have dark money? Because dark money, by definition, is like this nebulous concept that you have no proof for, right? So there will always be dark money, right? So it's like the term. This is why like claims need evidence to prove that it exists. Right? It can't just be you asking questions or some shit, right? It should be you actively, at the very least, like, I don't know, providing some level of proof, right? Yeah.
Where it's coming from, but you can't be influenced by it if you don't know who it was, right? It's just money.
Well, no, because
It's not how that works.
Isn't it weird that the libertarians are super interested in public spending disclosures? Dude, they're not even that consistent when it comes to like sucking someone's dick for coconuts, okay? So
you meet, okay, you talk about it, there's a negotiation, and then you give the money. Through super chats, through bot accounts.
Not necessarily.
I've got no clue who's sending that.
Hold on,
right?
dark money
It's
doesn't
influence,
necessarily
it's not
require
dark
money.
money.
tag. Also, yeah, that's not really dark money. I'm not a 501c4, but yeah.
Sure.
I think the implication that Wick was just saying is that, like, yes, any nefarious organization or organization doesn't have nefarious, right?
Or
Could be
individual.
funding anyone through super chats, right? Like, how do we know that you're not actually being funded by them? But you're correct, right? That there's no meeting of the minds, there's no undue influence in that case because I mean I have no idea, so I don't know, whatever.
I would
Thanks
say
for
the
the
point with super chats makes sense, and I definitely do think there's a level of influence that like a person's community or their audience can have over them. Just through super chats and like monetary benefits, especially, right? Or even through people doing like.
I mean, just the oilers, right? Any kind of oiler. Yeah.
A mega lol in the fucking chat or whatever the fuck. But
It's
that's
about
all
scale,
disclosed.
yeah, no.
That's organic. But that's not a kind of a queer kind of like, well, queer, I mean like odd, unusual
Oh, we know
kind of
what you mean,
evidence.
yeah.
That's what
Super
everyone
chats
has,
are
right?
gay.
No, super chats
I've just
are
got one right
awesome,
now.
and you guys should do it more.
Yeah.
And gay
Why
are awesome
it is,
too. So don't be a homophobic, Wick. Honestly, what the fuck?
Okay. I want to get back to the matter at hand, though. What is? Well, let's just give it to Team Prime right now. I'm going to tell you Team Prime for now. What is? Do you think, like, despite what may or may not, do you have any strong evidence, or what's your strongest piece of evidence that what Chorus is doing is nefarious? Can you just lay that out quickly for me, and then we could discuss?
As a team leader, I guess I'll go first.
Go ahead.
But yeah, quickly.
Don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say it.
It's
Don't say it.
possible
Don't say it. Don't say it.
that the way the program was practically run, that it didn't actually require a level of secrecy and it wasn't going to kick you out. But from the reporting, there was clauses saying you had to be secret about your connections, and it seems like, from what I've gathered, that people were secretive. That in itself is a problem for me, right? And then on the other hand, it's the dark
Where
money,
was that?
right? That I want to have an idea of who these funders are. Now, I don't think billionaires should exist in the first place, but if you are going to buy into this program, which again, the program itself, right, the incubator in its like in isolation, I'm actually fine with. But like I like to know who exactly is giving that money because that gives me an idea of what they want to accomplish with that. So yes.
Pretty same answer for the rest of you.
Well, I don't think that they're actually doing anything nefarious, like as a left-winger. I think they actually have good intentions, right? They're trying to do something good. And I believe that Brian Tyler Cohen does actually have the best of intentions, okay? I think there's some parts of it might be, like, insidious, but, like, out and out, like, nefarious, no. I don't think so at all.
I think it's also just quickly. Sorry, Scott. I think it's a very much consultant brain the way this was assembled. Right. This is how a consultant like pitches this to a bunch of big funders. Right. Getting a lot of control over these individuals. And this is how they make contracts in like other like business realms. And they've like taken that same thinking and applied it to the streamer realm. And I think that's what you like get this particular structure. So yeah. And that's causing a lot of friction.
Case, this is like, okay, imagine I'm a multimillionaire and I'm like, I want to fund progressive, causes or whatever, and specifically through influencers. How do I know that my money is going to actually go to the people I want without some sort of contract or organization that's like doing something to find people that align with who I want to give money?
That in itself is fine, but I'm saying the structure of this and the levels. the clauses that demand these levels of control, that is perfectly reasonable in most of the realms, right? And but
yeah,
within,
like at normal jobs, yeah.
So
but I would
think
agree if the clauses, as alleged or implied, are saying you're not allowed to talk about these points because that is anti-democrat, then I would have an issue with that.
When has everyone ever alleged that on this
You
panel?
don't need to do that, though.
No one on this panel is alleging that.
article.
It's very clearly implied by the article, yes.
No, it's not. I mean, it's
go back to this. I don't want to go through the toe the line thing again.
So
there's a reason people are talking about it the way they're talking about it.
So I'll say this, right?
Well, I mean,
research. So I'll say this on the last of the Prime team, right? Research seems to show that roughly 5 to 10% of the electorate is swayed by the bandwagon effect, right? Roughly 5 to 10% of people, if they think a president is going to win, they will vote for that president just because they think that president is the winner. And what I have a big issue with when we're talking about politics, especially in a democracy, obviously, I have issues with democracy, but insofar as that we're in a democracy, when you have people that are being funded or given opportunities and being able to grow their channel, especially I think some of the more nefarious ones are when their channel isn't explicitly political, when their channel is like some reality or makeup brand or some other type of content, and then they're pushing these ideas. What they are doing in effect is they are pushing, they're growing above their competitors that have different political ideas or aren't talking about politics because they're doing a makeup channel, but they're not talking about vote for Kamala. And what ends up happening is what billionaires are paying for is they're paying to have these ideas seem more popular and be a part of the dominant narrative in a dishonest way. They're not saying, oh, this person says.
What are you talking about? Dude, people who are not related to politics endorse politicians all the time. And they literally rally together their base in order to go out and vote for someone or go out and support someone or go out and door knock for someone. Like, this happens all the time. It's never been a problem up until you said it was a problem, I guess. But, okay.
Oh, they're being funded by some organization or they're being lifted up by some organization. When it is secret, there is this assumption that the audience has that these are just the popular ideas. These are just the good ideas that normal people have. These are the ideas that are winning. These are the bandwagon ideas that they take with them into the voting booth, and that small percentage of people in a nation where elections are often decided by 0.2 and 0.1% of the vote, that this money is paying to make a narrative seem like it's organic when it's not organic. I'll tell you, when I first saw that woman that Republicans were accusing of being the DNC's spokesman on men's issues, that Olivia Juliana, I believe is her name, right? I remember I watched her before any of this stuff broke, and I watched her and I said, guys, can you tell from her setup that this is all fake? Like we were all looking, we were like, this keyboard and this microphone and all of the way that she has her office set up is not like someone who's been like in the trenches and does this content all the time. And then this article breaks out and it's like, oh, she's one of the people that's working in this program. She's one of the people that is being given opportunities and given interviews and given mentorship and given these extra things. And so you have this inorganic growth from someone that might not have been popular but becomes popular and is not disclosing how that popularity comes about. Okay. That's my big issue here.
Yeah, but if you're like a libertarian or you were like whoa, rainbow loot. But if you're a libertarian, shouldn't you be for this kind of stuff? If you're a narco-capitalist, shouldn't you be for like any kind of funding is totally okay? I'm just confused on like where he gets his fucking anti-state libertarian principles from. Like, it just feels like he's just a populist conservative. Like, that's just what it feels like for Fabian Liberty. Like, it just feels like to me that he's like a fucking magatard. Like, that's the way he comes off to me. Yeah.
Okay. To the other side.
Right? Yeah, but I don't get cool guns.
Why or
behavioral nudging? Sorry.
Sure. To the other side. Team Soypill, I guess we'll say. Right. I don't
Hutch
know
is bigger. He should be the team lead.
Fair enough.
Team anal prolapse.
Oh, shut up.
Why,
what the fuck, guys?
Hold on. Let me ask my question before I forget it. Okay. Why?
You're not bad yourself.
Why are these allegations or why are these clauses that are being alleged, if they're true, not that big of a deal? Why shouldn't we be worried? Why is this being overblown in your opinion? Or why is this being framed dishonestly in your opinion, if you think it is? We'll start with Soy and we can see what you guys have to say.
Yeah, I mean, clearly, obviously, like I've talked to Taylor about this, and there are very legitimate concerns that everyone on this panel has said about, even Fabian saying like, hey, like this can have influence on you, even if they're not telling you what to say. The money can have influence. Completely agree with this, and that's why transparency is going to be as good as possible. The problem with the article is the way it's written and the way it's implicated, and some of the stuff I think is like directly contradictory, is leading people to this narrative that is, by the way, something that's happening. For example, when the DNC says we want to spend $20 million to find the like Joe Rogan of the left, or the little masculine influencer of the left, this does happen. People are paid to like be the next big thing, but it's all wrapped into this and being turned into this giant kind of like smear against these people who have authenticity but are now being called shills that are only pushing the party line. I think this is a complete misrepresentation. And so like a very specific example of this is in the contract. There was this thing, and you can look at the screenshot from the Ali TikTok, where it's 3 clauses about how to organize talking to other people. The first clause says, if you're going to organize talking to some sort of like authority figure or politician with the chorus tool, you must do it through the chorus tool. Like that's how you do the chorus stuff. The second one says, if you're going to do it independently, you can loop chorus in. You have to loop chorus in. You have to let us know. Not we get to approve or disapprove, but just, hey, let us know if you're going to like go talk to Zoran Mamdani and you didn't do it through our tool. The way the article is written says this. Many creators express concern because according to copies of the contract, creators in the program must funnel all bookings with lawmakers and political leaders through Chorus. Now that's what it says at the top, specifically about the Chorus thing. But then the next sentence says, creators also have to loop Chorus in on any independently organized engagements with government officials or political leaders. Now, the also there, I think, is doing a lot of weight carrying because it's saying you have to funnel all of these people through this tool and specifically get approval. That's the implication people are running away with, when in reality, you don't have to do that. You can do something else. No, it is false. You can do something else.
To be clear,
what,
right?
Funnel?
No, approve.
What is funnel? Okay, this is a semantic game.
No, I'm just
obviously they're not saying approve.
Run away with that.
The point
that's
is,
never directly alleged in the article.
It doesn't matter if it's alleged. It's obviously the reason that people, if you go watch the majority report, go watch the Vanguard, people, no, it's not about adding anything. If a majority of people talking about this in the left creator space are saying, look at these paid shills who had to go through them.
The reason why I don't use slag is because slag is significantly nerfed in this mod. I'm using a mod right now, and it changes the way that damage values are like done. It overhauls the entire game. And
for everything because of just reading this article. Clearly, the way it is written is playing into a narrative that is not true, even if it's not technically factually alleged.
And it's the article's fault. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
You're not even in the weight room. How the fuck am I supposed to drag you in if you're not even in the weight room?
Yes, the way the article is written is pushing people to these beliefs.
Yeah. I can't help it if so many people are as
people are taking the article and then it's becoming political mudslinging.
The article's fault.
People are taking the way the article is written to mean something that is not alleging. Yes. As in, you could write this in a less biased way, factually reporting all of this thing.
I don't know.
The way a political message is interpreted is super important.
I don't know how you could write this and it not be used by like, I don't know, like super pro-Palestine.
The third person to say that, I really should just rewrite this article more impartially.
Okay. I want to hear from Rinald, and I want to hear from Hutch at the same time. Right. Rinald and Hutch, answer the question, right, that I posed.
Who first?
Rinald and then Hutch. Go ahead.
Rinald. Okay. Yeah, I mean, generally, I agree that, like, for optics' sake, you probably should disclose if you're getting money. I think that just is a better look. But I mean, personally, I never really care that much about money in politics. It's just not something that really sways my opinion all that much. I do agree that the framing of the article was pretty bad. I think if she just wrote an article saying like, hey, you know, they paid these creators to get better cameras and market themselves better, and they didn't disclose it, I don't think that would have been like a groundbreaking article or anything. I think whenever it gets compared to like, oh, the right is more transparent with it, look at Tenet Media, which is like the worst example that you could ever give, or like in the tagline that they gave, like agreeing to restrictions on their content. I think whenever anybody reads that, they assume that there's like approval going through course that just doesn't exist.
So the panel should have had.
Well, they
in the tagline.
Tenet was good.
In the tagline.
No,
I don't think this is the panel we should have had, because the thing is that I think any one of these would have definitely like not passed up an opportunity to be on the same panel as Destiny 100%. I feel like they 100% would not have passed up an opportunity like that, but yeah.
Tenet, you got the Tenet thing backwards. They said Tenet was bad.
Yeah.
Well,
they said it was
in
bad.
the article.
Did they?
Yeah,
Yes,
she's like,
she
this is
was
not new. She says this is not
Okay.
new on the right wing. Tenet did this. She's saying Tenet is bad.
She talks about Daily Wire. She talks about.
I feel like
Tenet,
even
she
comparing
talks
this to
about
Tenet is
Turning Point USA.
a problem. But
but
I
she's
was
saying-
saying that
but she's saying
comparing it to
Tenet's
Tenet
bad.
is a problem.
Right.
Yeah, sure. Sure, but I think
we
even
know
putting
where
this up to
Tenet
levels-
Media's money came from. We don't know where this money
Well,
comes
let
from.
we all
Renault-
need-
In fact,
we
we
all-
actually knew who was being paid by Tenet Media, right? We didn't know it was being funded by Russians, but Tenet Media representatives in the media actually disclosed that they were
Tenet
working
Media
with
was
Tenet
more
Media.
transparent.
So it was
than
actually
this.
more
You're correct.
transparent. Yeah.
Wait. No.
Considering their funding was coming from the Russians and no one knew it, probably not more transparent. But I
Well,
mean,
I just said that,
again,
yeah.
the framing is the framing is all of the problem. If somebody is giving a political message and it's getting hella misconstrued by everybody that reads it, that is a problem with the article. That means that they're not messaging effectively. I mean, that's
You
about it.
can't write anything to like prevent any bad faith actor from
media
misconstruing
literacy on
it.
the
shouldn't
left
what
is
about
still
the
relevant.
major
Okay.
left-wing pundits
You
in
shouldn't
the
put
space?
agree to restrictions on their content in the tagline of the
They do.
article. That's what I'm saying.
But they do.
That's
they agree to
factually
restrictions
true.
on their content.
Okay,
What,
well,
hold on.
people read
What are the
that.
restrictions on their
Restrictions on
content?
their
I really want to know.
Across the article, but
What content are they agreeing to be restricted?
when they're going to chorus
Probably the
events, they can't
non-disparagement.
explicitly endorse political candidates.
You know why that clause is
But
there,
they're-
right?
Oh,
I'm saying that is the restriction, right?
When
They
you
lose
say
their freedom.
restrictions on their content and you're only referring to
just by the way, okay, FYI, all right, don't let the snarkers win. You have to protest this shit, okay? Because if people are grouping you in with Destiny anyway, why the fuck would you, like, you're being grouped in with D-Man anyway. You're being grouped in with all these people. You're having all the disadvantages and none of the advantages of it.
things organized through chorus, no one is ever going to interpret it like that. And I'm sorry,
Yeah, but
it's true.
the main
People don't
purpose
really
of
read
chorus
read-
is to get them to speak to politicians and make content out of those interviews, right? So
Sure,
that is
when you say
becoming the mainstay of
restrictions
their
Okay, I'm probably gonna save the rest of this for tomorrow, okay? But hold on. But because we gotta watch Relevant versus J Stock next, okay? To close out the stream.